Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome back. Um, Actually, I'm really excited about today's podcast. It's going to be pretty awesome. We've got a very dear friend. We've been friends for a long time. And master photographer. You've been in the industry for a while. We announced it earlier today. So please, again, like every single one of the other times, if you have any questions or anything throughout the show, please go ahead and leave your comments on there, and we will get on all this. So if there's any issues, hopefully everybody can hear us okay or whatever. But without further ado, I want to introduce Will Cadena.
What's up, guys? This guy's making me drink some tequila, what's it called? What is this called?
Yeah, exactly. So as you know, here when we in GTS, we always like to get some tequilas. This time we're actually going to share one of my favorite, which is going to be Cascanes. All right, Cascanes is one of my favorite tequilas. It's one of the best ones that are out there. Mexican owned, distilled, the old fashioned way from everything. So again, if you ever, we'll talk a little bit more on there, but we got a lot of things that we're going to cover today. So I'm actually really excited.
You get me really comfortable with this stuff.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic. So again, hello, Jennifer. Jennifer just logged on.
What's up, Jennifer?
But anyways, I'm going to talk a little bit about Will, the person that I know outside of the photo industry. And this is going to be something a little bit different. First of all, one thing that I want to make clear, there's a no holds barred. Will's actually, you're sponsored by Westcott, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you've been with them for quite a while. They're good friends of ours or whatnot. So I do want to kind of, give a shout out to, to our friends over at Westcott.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm a Westcott ambassador. I've been a Westcott ambassador way before the flashes came out. And I've been using them since I was 16 years old. I am 42 years old. So it's really cool to be on here. And again, I know people get like a little sensitive about equipment and like, you need to just use this and that's it. And you can't be friends with people that have that, different kind of system. No, it's can't be friends. Like he said before, we're good friends and it's cool. It's cool to like to coexist and just hang out, have a good time, go out, party, and just talk about just life in general. About personal stuff and, hardships, good times. So yeah, man. So thanks for having me. It's really an honor
absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's great to have this. And again, you and I, we've been in this industry for a very long time. Something that we're going to be talking about today. I mean, the things have been kind of changing over the years.
Dramatically.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about a lot of these things. And again, all of you guys, this was kind of a last minute thing or whatever. But if later on you guys log on and you see this, on our channel, we leave these all unedited, and the liquid courage kicks in. So the questions get, we're open books when it comes to this. So again, if you see it later on, you can still put on your, your questions on there. We'll go back and we'll answer them as best as we can.
Yeah,
but if you log on now and you're on, we're going to be here for a minute. That's a big bottle. Just to say, so
it is a big bottle.
It's a big bottle.
We haven't had dinner.
Yeah,
like early lunch we had.
But before we start anything, I want to say cheers. Thank you so much, Will, for being here.
Seriously, such an honor. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it beyond. And cheers, man. This is awesome.
First of all, you were telling me earlier today that you just kind of got into tequila.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago or whatnot.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you mentioned that, I told you. We're gonna have tequila. That's what the show was all about. And stuff. That's what's called GTS, Geekoto Tequila and Shots, man. So now the shot part is not that we're gonna be shooting, but we're gonna be talking about photography and photo shots and stuff like that.
No, I love it. And thanks for guiding me through the whole process. He showed me there's a whole way of having this tequila. It was sip it around your gums and put it. It was all complicated thing, but it was interesting doing it. I'm more of a tequila on the rocks, but this is very unique. No ice. It tastes good actually. I'm starting feeling a little bit more. So it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that's the thing. Tequila is a little bit more complex. It's not as complex as let's say whiskey, or scotch or anything like that. Yeah. But even like that, it has a lot of complexity when you kind of get to it. And we'll talk about that much more. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys want to want to learn more about tequila and stuff like that, we do all these shows. I have different tequilas all of the time. This time we're running through Cascanes, but we've gone through a different one every single one of the other shows that we have. So again, so first of all, man, tell me a little bit more about Will. Let's see, because we all know the Will that we see at WBPI, PPA, at different trade shows and stuff like that. But I know you outside of that.
Yes.
But I want people also to know this. So tell me a little bit about Will.
About me, I mean, guys, if you just Google my name, you'll see my name pretty much everywhere in the industry. Who I really am as a person, just a guy from Brooklyn, New York. Raised up there. Again, as I mentioned, I'm 42 years old. I got into the business when I was about 13 and a half, 14 years old through a wedding business, portrait business for my uncle. And he was based out of Manhattan, New York. And later on, and this is during the film days, I shot during the medium format days. And I have another uncle. He was a big time commercial fashion photographer. And I started getting more involved with commercial work when I was about 16, 17 years old. So a lot of the stuff that you see out there, especially when I post and share, that's a lot of stuff that you see is in camera. So education was always a big thing for me in general. And still to this day, I still go to workshops. I still educate myself. Like right now, I'm at a maternity conference, seeing a really good friend of mine, Esther K, seeing her rock the stage. And it's a whole different world. So for me, it's always been a big thing about never stop learning. And with you, since day one, I have learned so much, not only just in the industry, but also like history as well, you recommending books and educational stuff. And so for me personally, who I am, I try to keep it real as best as possible. I'm very open-minded. I'm always trying to see what's out there, how I could better myself. And so if I could better myself, I could better other people around me. I'm also an educator in the industry, as I mentioned before. I represent some nice brands. And I think that's really it. Again, from New York City, I love to travel. I love to eat and experience amazing people like this guy over here. I don't know, man. I really don't talk about so much about myself, man.
Exactly, and I know. I really don't. But I think that's one of the things that you don't. You're the type of individual. Ever since I've known you, you always want to know about people and stuff like that. But yet, when it comes, it took me a while to really kind of drag those things out of you.
Yeah.
Trips together, stuff where we've met up in different cities and stuff like that.
Last minute, hey, what are you up to tonight? I'm like, he's like, I'm in LA. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get on the next flight to come out and hang out. And we hung out for 2 nights.
Exactly.
Which is awesome, and that's how it should be.
So stuff like that, But with that said, you've always been very open, very, you're always introducing people and stuff like that, and which is fantastic. It's great. It's something that it doesn't happen in the industry, often.
Why is that?
Often.
Why do you think that is?
That's a really good question. I don't know, and I wish I had an answer for that, because I think that's honestly what's been so detrimental to the industry.
Yeah,
I think unfortunately right now the way the industry is, we're kind of in shambles, and we talked about this, a few episodes back.
Yeah, and
I think it has to do with that. It's very cliquey. People are just kind of hanging, and unfortunately that has really kind of made it very stagnant. And I think us, as companies, not as individuals, but as companies, have kind of had a big fault in that. Where you kind of separate things like, oh, well, you should only shoot this, or you should, so which is one of the reasons why when we came in, as Geekoto, whatever, we wanted to be more of a unifying force on a lot of things. As we launched, a branch for like content creators and stuff like that. And now we want to be more of a creative company, so we do tools for creatives rather than, because that's what it is. It's just, the creativity aspect of it that goes in photo, video, content creation, gaming, podcasting, all of that stuff. It takes a certain level of creativity to do, that stuff. So I think with people kind of keeping away from each other for whatever reason it was, it's kind of, it's been harsh, and hopefully that kind of changes, because there is people as yourself who are very open and want to talk to people, want to help the community and being a little bit more unifying and stuff like that. So I really do. That's something that I've always respected, about you and stuff like that.
Well, when you say like, that's one thing I also noticed about an industry. It could be any industry, but people, I want to help the industry grow. I want to do it. I'm like, that's great, but what are you doing for yourself?
Yeah.
Before you can even do that, what can you do for yourself? So for me, it doesn't matter what industry it is. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about business. No one really talks about business. Even the conference world. What's sexy? Lighting. Posing. Making these epic images. But what about business? Because at the end of the day, we're getting into the industry that you want to buy all this gear and all this equipment, and you want to, do 7 figures. There was a period of time that, you needed to make 6 figures in order to make it. No,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
bullshit. You need 7. You need to hit at least 7. All right, just to make it there. But I think that's another thing is no one likes to talk about, what is the average? What do they make in a year? And people get like all sensitive or very quiet, or they get really defensive about it. I don't know about you, but for me, I love to talk about that. I love to talk about it. It just pushes you. It holds you accountable for things.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
so.
it's one of those things that it's part of the it's part of being an entrepreneur. It's part of when you own your own business and stuff like that. You shouldn't be afraid of talking about business, sharing about business, learning about business. That is what kind of puts food on the table. That's what pays your mortgage. That's what pays you rent. I mean, anything, whatever you're doing. So you can't avoid that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things when I was teaching was I would always get asked about the business aspect of it. And to me, like I knew what was working for me. I learned from people, I educated myself and stuff like that, but I didn't consider myself an expert when it came, to stuff like that. Right. So I wouldn't, I'd be like, hey, you know what? This is the stuff, like, a lot of the books that I was like, this is the stuff that I read. This is the stuff. These are the conferences that I went to, because that was one of the big things that people would ask. They would be like, well, like, what photographer did you learn business from? I'm like, no photographer.
None.
No photographer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was like, no, man. I was like, if I want to learn from business, I went to a business conference, or I learned from a business, individual. If I wanted to do about law, I didn't go to the law photographer. I hired a lawyer, and you got all my stuff, in order, because that's unfortunately, that is the stuff that you kind of do to be kind of a little bit more successful.
Yeah.
The majority of photographers in the industry, not all, but a lot of them, and I'm including myself in that.
Yeah.
We're very, unknowledgeable of what's out there when it comes to the business aspect of it.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, these days, well, you've been in the game. How many years when you started shooting? Like, when did you start? Like, what age?
Dude, I was probably like 19 when I first got my first camera. Okay.
So 19.
Yeah,
you're like 35 now. Something like that?
Yeah. So I've been in this industry for about 4 years.
But at that time, you had to hire professionals to help you guide you through the process. I mean, these days, we have the internet, Google, ChatGPT, we have all this. But I feel like these days you need to, not these days, but always has been, you have to invest in yourself. Everyone's looking for that cut, let's get the shortcuts. And no, they're, even though, yes, you want the shortcuts, but you still need to learn the process. For me, where I'm at, I guess, in my life, not only in business, what I love is the process. Yes, the finish line is amazing, but how can we get there? And for me, that's the biggest thing. That's what, for me, what gets me excited. And that's why I'm always asking people the question, why did they get into that industry? Or why did they get into, like, I got to, like, yesterday, we went out for dinner. We got to hang out with your beautiful wife, Nancy. Like, wow, I was, like, beyond impressed in what she does. And remind me her title.
Physical therapist.
Thank you. Yeah. But the stories that she was telling me is like, wow, she's like a freaking angel in what she does. That takes a special kind of person to do that. Yeah. And does it involve in what I do for a living in any way possible? No, but it's also like, wow, you could take so much from that. And that also inspires me dramatically. And it's something I could take. I'm like, you know what? I need to find a little bit more passion in what I do for a living. So that's what drives me. And that's why I like to get to know people as much as I can. And going back to the business, I learned a lot of my business through my clients. Yeah. My corporate clients. Like, I do a lot of corporate America. So I'm literally in the pit of where transactions, financial things are made, which is insane. Like, there was a few days before, let's talk about the administration when Trump put all these tariffs. 4 days before that, I literally was in a room with 8 people that said, we need to pull this money out. That was insane, seeing how much money is. But learning the tactics and how calculated they are in the risk. And that's the thing, is like, making sure whatever you do, you need to do the homework. You need to put in the work. You can't go by ChatGPT. You can't go by what your friends said to you down the block or from another conference. It's like, you need to put in the work and take the time. So, and that's why I'm always asking questions. Yes, 2 different brands, extreme. Westcott, Geekoto. Yes, similar to what they do, absolutely. Just like in every client out there, not every client is going to be your client.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, what is it? I feel like we're like a little bit all over the place, but like, what do you feel about that? Like regarding?
Yeah, man. So that was, and you know, and even today, you know, when we put the announcement, we got a couple of things. So like, whoa, you know, is Will switching over to
geez, yeah.
And I'm like, no, man. I was like, it has nothing to do that, and that's one of the things that I wanted to show. Like, just we're gonna bring people in here who do not, you know, who are not part of Geekoto, but just because. That you know that doesn't happen does not mean that they have less to share or whatever. I mean, like it'd be very, very you know self-centered of us to be like, oh, we're only going to bring people who have something to do with Geekoto. Like last interview that we had, it's ASMP. It's a completely different organization that had nothing to do with Geekoto. Yeah, we work together and stuff like that, but it had it's not like ASMP is using Geekoto. You know, it's an organization. You know, it's stuff like that. Yeah. So it's what we want to do is here, like I said. It's kind of like a no hold bars type stuff, you know, where we're gonna invite people who we admire, who make a difference in the industry, and that's at least the type of show and the type of people that we want to have. So we actually have Devin. Devin just logged in. How you doing, Devin? Dude, so Devin's actually it's cool. So he actually makes like gaming PCs and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. And he's I'm not sure, Devin. I can't remember if you had already started or did your fundraiser, but they did an awesome fundraiser for some charities and stuff like that.
That's
so we're really proud to be part of that. If not, Devin, please leave it in the comments and stuff like that, and we'll definitely give it a shout out. For that. But yeah, Devin, awesome. It's this Saturday. So it's this Saturday.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah. And I think they're going to do, I think it's like 24 hours live. Really? They're going to be doing stuff like that. So
yeah, I want to contribute towards that, man. That's cool.
Yeah. So cool. We'll leave the information. We'll send it over.
And I'll share it on my end, man. So that'd be really cool. See what I mean? Like different industry.
Exactly.
I found this out. You're giving back. How can I not share? So
yeah, no, which is really, awesome because cool. Devin's actually he's gonna join us at TwitchCon. We're actually gonna feature one of what he's making. Just total surprise. He's making a surprise that we're gonna have at TwitchCon. Hopefully, I didn't overspeak Devin. So I was like,
oh, shut up.
I just remember, Ali, but hopefully,
we're NDA that was signed out to you.
Yeah, exactly, right? I was like, oh, there goes the NDA.
Yeah.
But anyways, we really do appreciate you, Devin, and individuals like that do things, unselfishly and for other people.
Yeah, giving back, man. That's, you never forget where you come from. And
that,
like going back to what he said before. Yeah, do I speak for other brands? Absolutely. Like for example, I represent Canon. And we did a speaking event for, I'm sure I'm going to say B&H Photo and Video, but I also speak for Adorama. Oh my God, you name it, I haven't spoken. But they had an event for Sony and Westcott. I was there, but I was at a Sony event. So, but I was representing Westcott. So people got a little sensitive about that as well. So it's like, you're not going to make everyone happy, but I tell all the brands as well, and also the students, is like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to wear my gala shoes to go hiking. And I'm not going to wear my hiking shoes to go to a gala to be dressed up. Yeah. So there's a tool for everything. Just be open-minded, especially this conversation. And whatever I say, whatever he says, do your due diligence and put in the work. Look into it. Do the homework and see if it works for you and if we're full of shit or not,
No, absolutely. Yeah.
So don't go by 100% what we say. Well, don't do that.
Yeah, especially, because we're about to pour the second glass. So,
we're about to get a little crazy. So,
but again, guys, if you guys are watching right now, if you have any questions, throughout the show, please go ahead and put them on the, on the comments, and we'll get to them. But all right, dude, let's get a little bit, into what we're talking. So, you've been in the industry for a long time or whatever. When you started, what did you think? Did you think, oh, I'm going to be doing this when I'm 40? You're what, 42 now?
Yeah,
you're 42 now.
Yeah, I just turned. Did I think I was going to be doing this? Absolutely not. I used to be a professional dancer, believe it or not.
Because you were like with Christina Aguilera. You were like,
I used to go on tour. I used to go on tour. So not a gigolo, guys. No. You know what? There was one time, but. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I got the video. Don't worry. We'll upload it. We'll leak it somewhere.
Yeah, no, but so originally, again, I started in the photography industry, but in order for me to make more money, I got into dancing, just break dancing, hip hop, choreography, and I found an opportunity to make more money, and so I started saving money so I could buy my camera equipment and everything, and lighting, and obviously the equipment was very different. Just to buy one lens, it cost like it was medium format Hasselblad. It was like $6,000, easy, like just starting with just one lens, and I had to buy multiple bodies. So that's what I used to do for extra money. So I thought I was gonna be a professional dancer all my life. And I finally like retired when I was about 24, 25 years old. But yeah, I used to travel the world doing that. But the cool thing about that is I ended up building a network in those certain circles. And he'll tell you, like, no matter where I am, I love to connect with people. I love to find ways that, hey, you know what, how can we connect? How can we build rapport? How can we probably work together in some way or another? Here's a good example. Like one event that I did a long time ago, I was photographing a wedding at the Pierre Hotel in Manhattan, New York. And just, again, I always saw this bathroom attendant. Always was friendly, social, getting to know. And that bathroom attendant, eventually, he's like, hey, I would love to do a family session. And my brother, he's looking for a photographer. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. And I could have just rubbed it off my shoulder. Oh, no big deal. But we exchanged that information. And I did a family shoot for his brother, and next you know, he enjoyed the whole experience. And he's actually one of the people that recommended me to get involved with working at the UN. So UN, if you guys don't know, the United Nations. And that led into so many freaking amazing opportunities. So you just never know who you're gonna meet. But again, you wanna do it with integrity, you wanna do it with no agenda. And people will tell you, I'm like a dog. I like to say hello to everyone and be very welcoming. So that's more in who I am about. But you just communicate, especially we're in the industry as being a photographer, right? A photographer, artist.
Yeah.
We want to be a little bit social, especially we're going to be capturing people.
No, absolutely. And I mean, and that's the thing. If you are, whether you are timid or not, but if you want to go into the industry, that's one of the things that you want to make sure that you do. I mean, you have to drag it out of you. You have to be able to connect with people because, believe it or not, that is one of the things that really kind of separates. And actually, earlier today, I was talking with Edgar. Actually, I'm not sure if you know him. Edgar, he's with Compoli, who does a beautiful albums. We were talking about kind of what like AI and stuff like that, and we were talking. If what he thought, because he's on print. I mean, these are beautiful albums that he's building, and we were talking with AI and everything else. He asked me if I thought that prints were going away or stuff like that. I personally don't think so. I mean, as you saw when you walked in here, and any of you guys, if you're ever around the area, or whatever, we're in the DFW area. If you're here, hit us up. You guys are more than welcome to come visit the office at any point. But as you saw, I mean, when you walk in, we have prints of our ambassadors, their pictures, stuff like that, because I do believe in print.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have maybe a TV that would cycle all the images, but that wouldn't be the same.
Nah.
I mean, to me, these are the things I still do prints, not as many as I wish I had or whatever, but it's also very difficult, when you have pictures of your family, to pick the one. But now, like Nancy, my wife, I mean, she prints everything as much as she can. Yeah. She's got books and stuff like that.
So you make like a vacation book every time you guys go away?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, we've done. Cool. We have before. But so those are one of the things that we want to share. So we talked about that a little bit, and he asked me what I thought of, he asked me when he asked about the print, if I thought that we're going to go away. I was like, nah, I personally don't think so. At least not anytime soon. I was like, and then I asked him if like photography, do you think there's still a long run for photography? Yeah. I think AI, it's a great tool, and we talked about this, on the last show as well. I think it's a great tool to have and stuff. But it's something that I think is gonna take over. No, man. I think the essence of a photograph is the soul. And I'm sorry, but only humans can create that, and those are the things that I think are long lasting. Those are the things that make, the difference between, an AI generated image, and, like a photograph. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with you 100%. I mean, look, if you're not, I had to take the things off because they were a little hot. Yeah, no, AI is, we've been using AI since like back in 2016, 15. But if you're not embracing the AI technology in any way possible, you're gonna drown. You're gonna drown. You're not that should be either helping your business or slingshotting you to get to where you have to be. But at the end of the day, look, yes, we're allowed to get really personal on this, right? We're allowed to say whatever.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
It's think of it this way. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad analogy, but it's it's like reading a karate book, learning how to do karate or martial arts. Reading a book and then you're gonna go out and you're gonna get in a fight. No, that's not gonna work. It's not. And let's get a little creative. I usually like to cross the line a little bit on stage, but just you could watch sexy movie time, or is it even better when you have that intimate experience with someone? It's a whole different level. So yeah, you still need guidance. You still need to guide the AI into what you want to do. And we use a lot of the AI also to help save us time with clients, especially when it comes to campaign shoots, when we do some of the shoots for them, or we help create a vision so they can visually see it, so they have a better understanding of what the outcome might be. So if you're not embracing it, then I don't know what to tell you. But we use after shoot, to help us call the images, edit the images. We also use Geekoto. It's like these tools is a no-brainer. I don't know. I never understood why would a person want to sit there and spend time on a computer instead of spending time with their family or looking to make extra money. And don't get me wrong, there's certain things I know there's people are passionate about editing. That's fine, but take advantage of different opportunities. This is an amazing tool. I love it. And again, if you go to my social media, my Instagram, I posted something with my headshot. It tells you that I'm a special kind of smart. I get distracted. I was in special ed from kindergarten to all the way to college. I'm still very special. Reading and writing disability, speech impairment. I have a bunch of different things. But where I shine, and I always thought that I was stupid. I wasn't smart in any way. And what I learned growing up and being involved in some of these industries and clientele is I have multi-billion-dollar clients. They don't even know how to open a freaking email. They don't even know how to use a phone. They still have a flip phones. So they got to that level is because they ended up using resources. They ended up having amazing team members. They ended up, I'm going to backtrack. What I learned from one client is Will, don't ever be afraid to ask for help.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that stuck to me because, it's it's true. Why not? Why not? Obviously I was going through, I'm still going through a time right now. But, you asked me, how am I doing? Are you okay? Whatever it is. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not okay at that time. And it was okay to say that. And that's one thing I know you asked one of our friends is are you really okay? So sometimes it's not okay to be okay.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And I think that's something that is very that it's right now and we just passed June was men's health mental health month.
Really?
Exactly. Which is one of the things that is kind of very it's kind of overlooked a little bit.
Why do you think it's overlooked?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's definitely something that I think mental health, especially nowadays, is something that definitely should not be overlooked. I think it's been overlooked for many, many years. But going back to what you were saying, it's. I think we're so kind of programming to always saying oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. I always have to be okay.
Yeah, it's
okay to say that you're not okay. It's totally okay. Trust me. You're doing a disservice not only to yourself. I'm a father, and as much and as strong as I want to be and stuff like that, it's okay to sometimes show that vulnerability to show to your kids that it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
That you can be that you can say, hey, you know what? I need a little help from whatever it is. From my wife has been absolutely amazing, obviously, but I've never taught my kids, that you shouldn't cry or, boys don't cry. Absolutely not. No. And I was like, there's nothing in the world that shows anything. So it's okay not to be okay. So going into that aspect.
I mean, when was it? Was it last week? I was watching with my friend. We were watching The Notebook. I haven't seen The Notebook in a while.
Okay. All right.
We get a little deep.
Please.
A little deep.
I don't know if that's deep, but yes, please.
again, if you guys haven't watched it, you're watching it. The people that have watched it, like, this guy really? Like The Notebook? No, but think about it, the sentimental value behind it.
No, absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing. I don't want to ruin the ending of it, but it's like, wow, that dedication to a partner, that dedication, you want to be there for someone. And even when they're going through some shit in their life, you want to be there. And I'm very fortunate that I have amazing people around me that they'll ride or die, and that's how we should be. And yes, I could probably just meet you within a few minutes. And if you're like, I could tell that something's going on, or you could like, hey, well, I need some help, and that's how it should be. You should be there to help someone. But yeah, you're 100% on that. Like, I love that you're teaching that with your kids, because I'm very much of a mama's boy. And my mom is like, always, express how you feel, share what you feel. And my dad wasn't really an affectionate in that way. And I was always looking for that love from him. Mm-hmm. I was always, I wish he could say, I'm proud of you, I love you, but he wasn't that kind of person. And I was always looking for that improvement. So I think that's another reason why that also drove me to do better. Drove me to, I want to succeed more. And again, it's all up to you where you want to choose that path. I could have went like, forget it. My father doesn't love me, and I'm going to be here all my life, and I don't want to work hard for shit. But I also took it to a level like, fuck that. I'm gonna make myself proud, and maybe down the line he might feel proud. And down the line, I started seeing how proud he was, but he showed his way in his own way. Yeah. So I love that you do that with your kids. And you have 3 kids, right? Yeah. So how old are they again?
So I got 14, 11, and 8.
All right, so
the 14 is my daughter, and then I've got 2 boys under that.
All right, so let's start with the oldest. If you had to describe her in one word, how would you describe her in one word?
She's one word. Yeah. Well, I'm going to use the same word for all 3 of them. To be honest with you, they're amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I would say that is because I'm gonna brag. I'm gonna brag a little bit.
As you should.
Yeah, they are. They're multi-talented. They're as of right now, they're beautiful kids. They're beautiful souls. They're doing great at school, like every parent and stuff like that.
And they're creative.
So
they're in
theater.
Very
absolutely. Yeah, they're
really cool.
They're in theater. They're creative. My daughter paints. I started off, as a painter before I was a photographer and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cool. I learned that last time.
Yeah, really man.
Good. This guy I just found out yesterday he was special ops on top of that.
No.
He had me going. For a while. Yeah. I was asking him how him and his wife met and all that. He's like, yeah, it was special ops and she was kidnapped and all that. I was like, wait, out of all the years I've known you, I never knew that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was the reason why you never knew. Yeah. Until last night.
I might have killed you. Yeah.
No, but I mean, they're amazing. Yeah, all 3 of them, they're amazing. They're what's great about it is the fact, that, and I heard that growing up. I heard that from other parents and stuff like that. But, obviously they came from the same parents, but they're so different and so alike in so many ways. It's pretty awesome.
Do you feel like because you started having kids, your mind shifted dramatically?
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, even my career, man. In my career, you can tell, like, in my work before I was married, and then when I got married, it changed, and then when we had our first kid, it changed, and then when we had a second, like, there was literally, like, you could see a line of how things change.
Okay, so give me an example. How did it change?
No, so for example, like when we had Annalise, our oldest, my work just became that much emotional. Where to the point where I started seeing, for example, like in the first dance when I was capturing, that moment between the father and the daughter. Dude, there was times where I was there and I was bawling, crying, behind the lens, where I was like, oh my, like it was just. And I started focusing more, and it changed. And even my clients said, I was like, oh my God, the brides were like, oh my God. I was like, I never thought that I wanted to see my dad's expression, because at that time I started focusing more. Because if you really kind of think about it, at the time when they're doing the first dance or whatever, most of the time they're so close together and they're hugging or whatever, that the daughter never actually sees the dad and the emotion that's on it.
Yeah.
So I started focusing on the dad. And taking those pictures, and that just completely, melted, the bride, where they're like, oh my God, I've never seen my dad this way. I've never seen him cry. It was 30 years, 40 years, whenever, and I was like, and I've never seen my dad cry. And to see them. So you could literally see
Yeah.
you know, the change in my work and the emotions that I was capturing, you know, at that time. And they're not just little subtle things. I mean, they're like big,
big extreme stuff.
yeah, big changes in my
I
work.
actually want to chime into that because, yeah, when my grandfather passed away when I was younger, I can never forget. So my uncle, my cousin, and I, the day that we went to go photograph a wedding, and this is a long time ago, and I mean, it definitely on the way to the bride's house, we found out that my grandfather died. It hit us hard because, you know, obviously his family and we're very close. And it was such a hard day. We still shot the job. You know, people, you know, all the photographers from our family business came in to help us out, but we still had to continue because, you know, we're highly requested. And yeah, during those dances and the parent dances and all that, and during that time I think it clicked for me. So, you know, capturing that, I was exactly what you said, crying and emotional. And I went into every portrait session in that way because you never know if that person's gonna be there.
Yep.
So, you know, I know like with some of the wedding photographers, and I've been a guest at events when it comes to the parent dances, or like even when I was in the bridal party, they take a picture and walk away. Like, what are you doing? Like, it has to be more than that. Like, even if you have to create that emotion, create the emotion. But think of it like that could be your mother, that could be your father. Could they go? You know, what if they left the earth that day or that day after? So, I think that's so important, and I think that's you know, it's beautiful that you're, you know, for you you changed that way how you shoot things because it was during a great time. For me, I changed that mindset because it was a sad day for me.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
So yeah,
Right.
I think going through your experiences in life, and I mentioned this. I think it might have been on a podcast with Esther K or another friend of mine. It all depends on, you know, how I'm feeling. If I'm happy, my image is a lot more vibrant. If I feel like I'm a little moody, upset during the day, my image is a little bit darker. It all depends on the kind of assignment that I'm doing. But yeah, that really puts things out there. I mean, so yeah, man. So obviously it changed. And do you feel like it kept on changing consistently for every kid, or for like?
Yeah, no, I think I mean, yeah, it definitely shifted. You know, obviously when I became a father, it was a major shift, major shift when it came. And then, you know, as my boys, you know, when, you know, the second one was born, yeah, it shifted a little bit more again. You know, but going back to what you were saying about capturing, one thing that I did notice was the fact that it was that I didn't want to miss moments.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was always very, very aware of that. But once you grew and with your career and things happen throughout your life, like an example that I could share with that was I was covering a wedding in Mexico, and the bride, you know, all of her family was there except for her brother. So her brother, you know, played in the band. You know, he was a great guitarist, great musician, or whatever. But he was overseas, and he wasn't going to be able to make her wedding. Somehow, some way, I found out that he caught a last minute flight, and he was going to make an appearance.
That's awesome.
So I was kind of, you know, looking and finding, and finally, and then when I saw him walk in, and the way it literally, he walked in right before she walked down the aisle.
Yeah, sick. All right.
So I got to capture that moment where she turned around and she saw him and she just ran to him. It was amazing. I captured that moment, got that stuff. That
Yeah.
got it. Beautiful
And you felt good
stuff.
after you're like, I got it.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is fantastic or whatever.
Yeah.
A year later, he passed away.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah. Completely unexpected. It was one of those things, you know, or whatnot. And this was one of the few moments in my career that I was very proud. And going back to, you said something earlier where you said that and I've always been a firm believer of this, that not every client is your client.
Yeah. And
when you do pick your clients, because you do pick your clients in those situations, then you get very attached to your clients.
Yeah.
Which is something that I've always been. So when obviously, you know, I was in contact with a lot of my clients, when I found that out, I found every image that I could get from that. and I sent them over. I made a book, and they were beyond thankful. They used a lot of the images, during their and stuff like that. But it's, again, going to what you were saying. You never know. You never know when things are going to happen and stuff like that. So as photographers, if you are covering events and stuff like that, I mean, just go out. Get at it. Get the as much as you can from those situations, because you just really never know. Now, with that said, a lot of people, for example, we were talking about last night. We with my family, we love to travel. We take these epic drives, through and drive around and stuff like that.
By the way, he has a tank. By the way, he has a real tank. He picked us up out of a tank at their apartment. What the hell is that?
But one of the things that we do during these things is that I never take my camera. I never take my camera because
why is that?
Because I don't want to live my life through a viewfinder.
Yes, man. Yes.
So the one thing that I do is I take my phone. I've always been asked, and this was a term that I did not coin. I cannot remember the photographer that coined it. And if you remember, but he said the best camera to have is a camera that's with you.
Yeah, the one in your pocket.
So to me, I bring my phone and I capture everything that I have with my phone. Sometimes once in a while I might have a camera, but I don't bring it to vacations and stuff like that.
I totally agree with you 100%. When I started traveling a lot more, and I mean, again, I rarely have free time as it is, but yeah, I usually travel. I already travel with two phones anyway for work, and that's my go-to. Like bringing camera gear and all this other stuff, and doesn't matter where I travel to. It's like that's your go-to. I mean, it's quick. It's I don't care. It's auto. Take a picture. I caught the moment.
Exactly.
People freak out like, oh, I gotta admit, like there was a time even in the industry I was like, oh, you don't shoot manual? Like you're not a professional. You know what? This auto. But it caught the moment. It caught the being there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we miss a lot whether it's weddings and portraiture. Let's hypothetically, at the end of the day, like we're photographing, you want to make money and stuff like that. Like I started seeing a dramatically big increase in my average. I mean, when I started really focusing on family portraits and creating those emotional shots, you're gonna have those clients that they want to show too much because they're uncomfortable. And you know what? It's normal. But when you start creating them, I think you guys can tell I have a lot of energy. And by the time I'm done after the day, I'm exhausted because I'm giving all this energy out there. And that's how I am on stage as well. But my average went up so much when I started capturing one of those family portraits. Yeah. It's not like I take a picture and I walk away from the family and I go have a coffee and shoot the shit and talk about every situation. Yeah, they're going to be pain in the ass clients. They're going to be always that sister that she's going to try to relive her wedding, for example, on your client's day, whatever it is. To make her appease her. I mean, what kind of, just capture those shots. But for me to make an extra 4, 5, 20K more just to, create a cool epic album for the parents or the grandparents, it's worth it. And I know people are, well, I don't have that clientele. You never know. People value everything differently. Yeah. There's certain people that they don't have a problem going out spending $6 on a cup of coffee. There's certain people that they're happy with their Fortress coffee at home. So it's bringing that value. For me, I love to bring that value to my clientele, and not even my clientele, but I like to bring that value to my friends and family. And I think that's what we're missing. Everything's always about business. It's about the camera gear and how I got the shot, or I'm shooting, or I got a 1.2 lens, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is that human connection. For me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm completely with you. In those situations, especially if you are doing like event photography, when I'm talking like specifically in weddings.
Yeah.
If you are in it and just capturing, or you're very business oriented and stuff like that, it's gonna take you away from that. There's a certain time to do the business. Once the business is done, then you gotta go all in.
Yeah,
you gotta go all in.
You can't dip your toes. Don't dip your toes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Noel del Pilar from Puerto Rico. Hello to Puerto Rico. From Puerto Rico, Amber Henry just signed out. And stuff like that. And sorry guys, we do kind of have a modifier or whatever, and if there's repeat stuff like that, things will get deleted. But that has nothing to do with that. That's a YouTube thing. But Devin, we were talking about AI earlier. Devin says AI is a great tool, but it's not replacing creatives.
Absolutely
I'm absolutely agree in that. Marcos, thank you so much. He said yes, they are amazing as a dad. So thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
but again, guys, if you keep putting the comments, and stuff like that, and any questions that you have. But yeah, going back to that that aspect of it, I think we're both in agreement. You have to 100% commit, especially doing event photography, because you just never know. And obviously, that is something, going back to AI, that is something that is never going to be replicated by that.
Yeah, but I mean, again, yes, event photography is important, but also like, I'm not a bird photographer, I'm not a wildlife photographer, I'm not baby photographer, I'm not any of that. But at the end of the day, as long as you take the time to learn the craft or take the time to find passion in it. Like I have friends that are ambassadors for major brands, National Geographic, you name it. They travel. Even like bird photography, animal photography, they're passionate about what they do. They take the time to learn it. And I think that any industry you're going to get into, take the time to learn it. Don't go into there acting like you know your shit, but without doing the homework and putting in the time. So I got sidetracked, guys. That's my special smart kicking in. But yeah, it's not just event photography. It's just in general, anything that you could do. Even if you're just like, you want to go pump the gas in your car, someone's near you, and just say hello. Be a little welcoming. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sidetrack dramatically. Might be the tequila. Who knows? By the way, it's really hot in here, or is it tequila? Which one? No,
I think it's tequila. It's pretty good, and you're behind. So
I'm behind, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm trying to behave myself. Yeah.
So one of the things, that we've shared, and stuff like that. We've shared some awesome moments. We were talking
actually a lot of great moments.
Yeah,
we've a lot of great ones.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great moments.
Some ones shouldn't be out in public.
But some of the times there's been situations where at one time I was in LA, and I had some downtime or whatever. I called this guy up and I was like, hey, you brought this up earlier. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, no, actually, I think you were at a shoot in Vegas or something like that, and something had shifted.
I actually just got to New York, back
that's
home.
Right.
That's right. And I was supposed to be out, I think in Vegas or Miami, and then my client got really sick.
Yes.
And my campaign got just rescheduled. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's when you call me. I'm like, oh, I got credit for my flights. And continue, but yes.
Yeah. So and I was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm actually, this is gonna be really easy stuff. I was like, I'm here for to an assignment or whatnot. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. And he was like, I was like, no, actually, my stuff got rescheduled. Like, dude, I'm in LA. Come on down.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. And literally, like 6 hours later, he shows up in LA.
I was like, you have any sugar? It's like knocking on the door. Yes. Yeah.
But it's one of those things when it comes, that we met. I'm very thankful to this industry. I'm very lucky in the fact that I've made and met great people, great individuals in the photo industry. It's something that I'm very, very proud of. And also, because of things and how things are kind of currently right now, it makes me sad. So I do want to make sure that, that things get better. So let's shift a little bit. Let's shift a little bit on the top. What is your thought currently right now? And we're going to go specifically, not in the creative aspect of it, because there's different things, but what are your thoughts currently right now of the photo industry at the moment?
So what I think about the photo industry in general, I mean, look, I think we're in photo industry. We're all passionate in many different ways, which is great. It's a beautiful thing. I think what I've been seeing a lot over the years is a lot of, it's always been around. It's just the ego thing and not willing to share more. Look, at the end of the day, can you find the information? Yes. Can you find it anywhere? Can you type it in, YouTube University or any particular workshop? Absolutely. Like a friend of mine said the same thing. Like, you could be in a workshop for 10 hours or maybe an hour. You could probably take maybe a few things out of it. So it's a tough question. I feel like where we are now, I think people are not willing to share more or help each other. Yeah. People always talk about, it's a community. And again, this is not just in photography. I think it's in many different industries in general. if you're gonna talk, make sure you follow through.
Yeah.
I think people these days don't follow through, or there's a little bit more of an agenda behind it. People always say, "Oh, I'm real, I'm real." I'm like, "Are you really real? Like, why are you saying you're real?" The ones that talk the most are the ones that usually majority of the time they really don't execute what they're saying. Okay. So I think accountability, is really, really important. Follow through. Again, I'm not really active on social media and stuff like that, but a lot of the people that I do meet that are really active on social media, and I'm not saying everyone is like that, but the ones I do, it's when I really, what's that saying? Like, once you don't ever meet your heroes because they might disappoint you or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
If you guys know it, correct us on it, but I think, it's something to that effect.
And over the years, especially when I got into this industry, I was very disappointed. I'm like, they're not really being true in what they say they are. But again, I think it's really more about just try to connect more. I think whatever you say, just keep it real as best as possible. And again, you're always gonna fluff it a little bit more just to like make things better. But I think what the industry is really missing or is lacking is connecting more. And and this is a problem.
Yeah.
Like check out, just check out. You know, it's like if you're there, just be in the moment. Just be in the moment. Get to know people.
No, I agree. I completely agree. Now going back to for the photo industry, I do think a lot of people are just very kind of like detached and not welcoming. There's a big separation and stuff like that. But something that I've seen, as you know, like we're part of we have a new, not a new, I keep saying new, but we have a branch where we've launched stuff for like content creators and gamers, streamers, podcasters, and stuff like that. Yeah. So we started attaching, we started, like last year we attended like TwitchCon, and it was so eye-opening and so pretty awesome, dude, to see so many different genres. I mean, you had streamers, you had podcasters, you had gamers, you had content creators, you had influencers, you have all this different that were very different. Mm-hmm. But yet every single one of them, dude, were just welcomed of each other. And they all hung up together. Yeah. It was so awesome to see, man, that it was something that I was like, dude, this is pretty awesome. Yeah. You had everything. You had everything from cosplayers, dude, to a gamer, to OnlyFans models.
Oh yeah,
and like all in one place.
Did you subscribe right away?
But it was one of those things where I was like, holy. I mean, it was kind of mind blowing to see so many different genres of what they were doing, but yet none of them. They were like, oh, dude, I'm such a big fan of yours. And they were like, oh, me too. I follow you on this. But they were completely different things. Yeah. Like you had a podcaster that was following a YouTuber, that was a streamer. You had a YouTuber that was following, a cosplayer, a cosplayer. So it was so cool. And then on top of that, you had a lot of these photographers who dedicated nothing more than just taking portraits of cosplayers. And it was really cool, man. And it brought me back to very early on in our careers when a lot of these conferences were the same way. Yeah. Where it was all about sharing. It was all about seeing all of these things or whatever. And I miss that. Mm-hmm. I really, really do. I do miss the time where it wasn't as clicky as it is right now. What do you
think like it changed? Like what part? Why do you think the industry's changed? Hypothetically, let's say, why do you think it changed?
I think a lot of it has to do with, like I said earlier, I do think that companies have had a big influence on that. I really do. I did see, like there's nothing wrong with a little bit of, of like, I'm a Canon shooter, you're a Nikon, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I mean, I showed you a meme earlier today when I was like, so how to avoid you get your your equipment stolen. It was a Canon equipment, and then somebody put like a Nikon sticker on it. Yeah. Stuff like that. It's fun. It's funny little things like this. That's really cool. Yeah. But when companies kind of go above and beyond and saying like, oh, we're better than this, we're better than that. I was like, are you really? Yeah. I was like, there's tools for everything, I mean, and this going back, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have that, like what we're currently doing right now. Yeah. where it goes kind of beyond that. You know, you're not you're not a Geekoto ambassador. You're not anything like that. You know, you're with Westcott.
Yeah.
You know, and we cross over. They do modifiers. We do modifiers. There's a lot of stuff, you know, and stuff like that. But again, it has nothing to do with anything. We're both part of the industry, and hopefully, you know, we are able to kind of bridge that gap a little bit. You know, when it comes to it. So I do think that corporations have had a big influence in that separation, and hopefully things kind of.
Yeah, I think. I mean, also people want to compete, and you know, competition is great. Don't get me wrong, but there's also a way of doing things. You know, there's a way. There's a good thing. There's ways of doing things. You could either be an asshole about it, or you could be and you know go about it the good, like in a good way. Yeah, but I totally agree with that. Yeah, it has changed a lot. Yeah, it has changed a lot.
So Amber Henry, I said to go along.
Is that Amber? What's up, girl?
To go along with what Will is saying, he's exactly who he is here in person. He is an open-hearted, kind, genuine, and a whole lot of fun. How much did he pay you? How much did he pay you to say that? Come on, Amber.
Amber,
come on.
I sent the Venmo. I
figured that's what it was.
Well, here's a quick that Amber, again, since I met her since day one, amazing human being, as we know. She's your ambassador, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
she is.
She's tiny but mighty. She's such
absolutely.
A badass.
She is. Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Yes, beyond. And I really hope she learned a lot from that conference that we did in ClickCon about leaving her gear away from her.
Which I heard that story today, and you're not gonna live it down. You know, one of these days you're gonna be in here, and we're gonna talk about that story. So you guys remember that, and we'll bring it up.
Yeah, we'll bring it up. Just I'm a New Yorker. Don't ever have your gear lying around because someone could easily just take it away from you in a heartbeat. So yeah, miss you, Amber, superstar. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, and I think that's one of the, you know, she just has, I can't disclose that. So, like some of you guys, I'm speaking directly, you know, to a couple of you guys that you know that are on there, you know, like Devin, you know, I mean, you're part of the creative community that's outside of the photography industry. You know, you do a lot of things with streaming and stuff like that. You know, tell me what you guys like about that. You know, that aspect of the community, and chime in a little bit more because again, you know, when it comes to that part where you know I'm a little bit of a noob.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know,
I think it's very important, and there's always something to take from that in every way. So I you know, going back to like the community, I think another thing you brought up companies. Again, at the end of the day, like I try to be Switzerland as best as possible, but what I notice in a lot of the conferences in general, globally, is like these shooting bays. They're great to have the shooting bays. I get it. You want to come in, you know, you want to get a couple of shots in, you know. But the thing is that I've been seeing a lot more of it. You know, here's shooting bays. Here are the settings. This is how you shoot it, and then it's okay to put it on a website and put it as your portfolio piece. That's where I feel like I disagree on it because it's like, well, that's kind of like AI technically. It's like you're kind of putting your information like a shortcut of it. But that's why I said the process. This is why it's really important. Like, why was it set up in that way? Why do you have a model wearing, you know, certain color tones with that background? There's a reasoning behind those color tones to make the image stand out, make the subject pop out. Why are you using this modifier? Why are you using this specific brand? Is it because of the color temperature? Is it because of the customer service? So I feel like that's where the industry is kind of shifting. They're trying to sell so much equipment out and buy, but you're understanding the process of it. Yeah. And I think that's where we're lacking in the education because everyone just wants the shortcuts. I get it. You want the shortcuts to get to someplace. I get it. But you also have to learn the fundamentals. And that's one thing I've been noticing a lot more. Even my, like, one of the immediate classes or more advanced classes, people are like, oh, well, I don't understand about f-stops and shutter speeds. That you should be learning. That should have been basics. That's what you should have been learning. And that's one thing that I've been seeing a lot more. People, they just wonder, well, how do you get that look? What's the settings? When people say, like, what's the settings? How'd you get that? No, you could give the same exact settings, 100%, but when you get to that location for your shoot, it's going to be completely different.
Exactly.
So, and again, how many chime in? Because my social smart kicked in, but, like, how would you elaborate on what I'm saying?
No, I do, and that's one of the things. I think that was the hardest thing when I was teaching and stuff like that. That everybody was so focused on what the settings were,
Yeah.
rather than anything else that I was saying before. So it got to the point to where when I was doing workshops or when I was doing any speaking and stuff like that, I told people you can't bring your cameras.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Because instead of listening, they were literally shooting over my shoulder.
Yes.
Or they were doing, because they wanted to get for the portfolios. Number one, when you pay for something, take advantage of it.
Yes.
Go get all the information that you have, then test that stuff out, rather than trying to fulfill, fill your portfolio and stuff like that with stuff that is not yours. Because if somebody sets it up for you and gives you the settings, it's not your shot. It's not your stuff. And then you're going to go to a client. They're going to put you in a situation, then you have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Yes.
So,
and you cannot produce what you originally showed them.
Exactly.
And what happens with that? Let's get out of the photography industry. You're in a relationship, whether it's a friend, a spouse, a partner, dating. What happens when you get caught in a lie? They're not going to trust you anymore.
We literally just saw something within the last couple of days. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Coldplay.
Yeah.
Completely blew that thing up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what happens in those situations?
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah,
it's it's hard. And I get it. But even still to this day, I still take workshops. We have a lot of mutual friends.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of mutual friends, and I still take their workshops and I pay full rate. And a lot of them they're like, no, I'm not taking your money. I even sign up with a different fake name.
Yep.
Because why? One, I value my friend. Two, if I don't take anything from there, then I'm just literally blowing the money out.
Yeah.
So, and I allocate the time. And for me, I like to purposely get on a plane to go to a different city or a different country to go learn. Because when I'm in New York, I get pulled in 10,000 different directions. But it's investing in yourself, investing in this industry, investing in that educator, investing in yourself, especially if you want to grow. And that's what's going back to about having the shortcuts. Why would you want to take a shortcut for something that if you learn the process, it just makes life so much easier, in so many different ways.
So I'm gonna take it a little bit out of the thing. We had a discussion a few months ago or whatever, where you were like, hey man, you always giving me great books or whatever. I want to learn a little bit more about history and stuff like that. So I refer to you to a history book that is by no means a short book.
Nah, I'm still trying to finish it up. And by the way, our boy Christopher Columbus, he wasn't such a nice guy.
But it was one of those things, trying to get a shortcut. And what I'm getting at in this specific, example is the fact that a shortcut, it's not truly going to give you, or you're not going to get much from it, man. You're not going to, to truly be invested into something is really going to be a long-term commitment to a lot of the things that you have to do. But at the end of the day, once you finish that commitment, you're going to be so much more fulfilled, and you're actually going to be a lot better of an artist, of whatever it is that you're currently doing.
Yeah. So going back to the shortcuts, here's going into business, because if you guys are here for business, for me, it's really important to know exactly the process for every team member that's on my team. So I have multiple different divisions, corporate America, weddings, portraiture. We also do high volume photography as well. So we were bringing on team members onto our specific task and what we do. Even if it's a freelancer, I would never get taken advantage of, because I know exactly on every aspect. I know how to edit. I know how to edit video. I know how to shoot. I know how to the business process. So if I get a freelancer, they're charging me arm and leg, I'm like, why are you charging me that? Oh, it's very complex. I'm like, no, it isn't.
Exactly.
No, it isn't. You know why? Because I learned the process of it. And just like anything else, even with corporate America, I do the homework before I get involved with anything. So I even sometimes ask my corporate clients, what is the budget you guys have in mind? Because when it comes to corporate, let's put it this way, I work with Goldman Sachs, UBS Financial, Chase. I work for, obviously I mentioned before, other brands, but I already know where the margins are. I already know what their budgets are. And if I don't know, I'll ask. And sometimes, majority of the time, they tell you what it is. Or sometimes you might bid for it. And there's no different with everything else. So it's really taking the time to really do your homework and do due diligence. So And there's nothing wrong about being transparent. And that's one thing I am very transparent with my clientele and friends and colleagues. Like sometimes I will get on a flight to go have lunch with a client, whether it might be 3 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is. And I say about 95% of that meeting, which is not meeting, we're talking about everything but business. But it's already a lockdown deal. So yeah, I think it's really important to really know the process. So if you guys are taking anything from this, learn the process as much as possible, and just get to know who you're working with. No different from any kind of relationship. You want to get in better with someone. You want to take the time to get to know them and build that rapport. Is no different from anything else. So, but yeah, I mean, that's really it. I mean,
cool.
More wine.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So you ready? Come on.
For more?
Yes.
All right. Let's do it. Are we really killing this whole bottle? No, there's no way.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm in we're Texas. We're Texas, Dallas, right? Is it Dallas?
Yeah. You don't know. I was like, let it be known that Will does not know where he's at currently. Right
First
now.
of all, timeout, guys. I travel a lot.
He does
globally.
I do attest to this absolutely. Yes. Like like you called me like, hey, so what's well, like, what are you doing in 2 weeks? I was like, well, I'm gonna be here. I was like, oh, you want to go to Greece? I was like, well, if you would have told me 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, but someone's doing something really important that week. I don't know if it's confidential, but I don't know. Do you want to share that, or are you allowed to share that? Or
of course I am. So I was like, I asked him, if he wanted to, he was more than welcome to. So on August 23rd, guys, keep an eye out. We're actually going to have an open house here. We'll be putting some announcements next week or whatever. It is limited to the amount of people that are going to be attending on that, and we'll put the number on there. So make sure that but it's going to be here at our headquarters. We have companies that are going to be joining us. It's going to be Aftershoot, Sony, Red Bull, Battle Beaver, Tether Tools, Spider Holster. They're going to be all here. We're gonna have our studio open. You guys are gonna be able to come in here and shoot. We're gonna have free headshots for everyone. We're gonna be an area that's gonna be for content creation and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a real lot of fun. So
what are you not gonna have?
So and obviously, keep your eyes out. We're gonna be publishing that next week sometime.
And what is the weather gonna be like? Because it's hot over here. It's like
it is. It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. You've been complaining about that the whole time you've been.
I hate sweating. That's why I take 4 showers a day. Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll just
congrats to that, man. That's awesome.
Absolutely, man. We're really happy, and
what inspired you to do that, by the way?
We've been actually trying to do that for a minute. It's just until we were ready, we weren't gonna do like a lot of the stuff that we do.
Cool.
Until we're ready.
I'd love to bring Westcott into the mix.
Absolutely, yeah. I was like, hey guys, if you guys want to be here, come on, man, bring it in.
That's what it's about.
We're bring it in. Absolutely. Why not? But all right, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Beyond
absolutely, guys. If you guys have any questions or anything, please go ahead and put them down in the comments, and we'll ask. So any questions, like I said, we're open books. So send them over.
Yeah. If you had to pick like one thing there's a question.
Yeah. So we have a couple of things. Devin, is laughing. He's just bringing up Coldplay.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Amber said, "Don't get caught with your pants down. Don't get caught with your photography pants down."
Whoa.
Devin says, "Cheers." Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Devin. If you guys are not following Devin, please go ahead and follow Devin.
What's
Devin,
his Instagram?
So make sure you put your Instagram and everything else here, Devin, and stuff like that. But dude, so I'm gonna kind of geek out on Devin. He's using all of our lights and stuff like that. But his streaming setup is freaking epic, man. It's a bar. Like straight up, it's a bar.
What?
He has a kegulator. It's awesome. It's pretty cool. So please follow Devin on there and stuff like that. So put all of your stuff in there, and especially like I said, this Saturday he's going to be doing a charity event. He's going to be streaming. I believe it's for 24 hours. Please correct me, Devin, if I'm wrong on that part. But please follow him. What it is, his setup is sick, man. His setup is pretty epic on that. So everything is Devin Does Tech. That's pretty much everywhere. Thing. Yeah. So YouTube and I think Instagram and everything else. It's Devin Does Tech.
The consulting or what? What's going on?
No. So he does some epic stuff. Like I said, he builds PC.
Yeah.
And we have a great Man, I really do too. Devin, you said earlier today that it's been really hard for you to share some of the stuff. Us too, man. We're super excited about that. But if you go to TwitchCon, come visit us. We'll be publishing all the information, booth, and all that stuff on there. Will, obviously, you're always welcome. So if you want to come, we're going to be in San Diego in October. Ooh, and so
I
we'll
love
be
San Diego.
Yeah,
love San Diego.
So we've got Mexico City in October for masterclass, and then we got San Diego the following week. So
I might show up at the last minute though. That's how I roll.
Exactly. I was like, hey, what are you doing, Will? So, anyways, guys, if you guys have any questions or anything, please go ahead and let us go. So
it could be business, it could be anything. It could be
everything, anything and everything. So, I had a couple of questions in here that I'd had and stuff like that. So let's talk a little bit about one of the things that daily as a company that we get, it's always, we have a lot of photographers that are like, hey, I want to be an ambassador. I want to be an ambassador for Geekoto and stuff like this.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Obviously, you with a different company and stuff like that. But let's talk about the, ambassadorship. Like, what advice do you give to photographers new or photographers who have been, in there for a while about stuff like that?
So pretty much the question is like, how do I become an ambassador for a brand that I like a lot?
Not necessarily that, but like, what's the best approach, to have that? Because I do, and I'm gonna give it from our experience. At least once a week we get 30, 40 emails, and then we have a ton on social media where like, I want to be your ambassador.
Yeah,
I want to collaborate. Send me free stuff. I'm going to tell you right now that it's not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah. You better off just signing up at OnlyFans and be like, get a sugar daddy. Like, no.
There's just not, that's just not going to happen. But I do want, an outside look, outside looking at from without a company. Like, what advice do you give to people who are looking for stuff like that?
All right. So here's the best example, because anyone who's watching this and they're going to watch it online. How irritated do you get when a client walks into your studio or reaches out to you? Hey, I'm getting married, or hey, I need headshots. Hey, I need an event to be covered, and I'm going to give you all this exposure.
Exposure.
And is going to benefit you. It's the same thing, no matter how you look at it. Just being raw. Like, really, that's the companies I work with. And I really, whether I'm a 100% full ambassador or I have a great partnership, no matter what, is how can we both benefit? How can we both rise that will make sense? So we're going to bring up Westcott, for example. I remember when I met, before he was the president of Westcott, when I met with him, obviously I was reaching out and, just showcasing what I do. Yeah. And
who you're talking about is Brandon Heiss.
Yeah, he's an amazing, beautiful person. And he's passionate.
He's the CEO of Westcott, whatever. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. Yeah. Whatever. He's a great person.
And dude, he goes out of the way, and he dedicates a lot, and and he's one of the many people in the company that I truly respect. And yeah, he might see like, oh, we're on this podcast, but this is the beautiful part about it. There's no tension. It's just keeping it real. But I remember before that is like showcasing what I've been doing on social media. This is like before social media became like that big in that way. But I was showcasing, tagging, showing love, and then finally, I don't know. I think we connected on social media, and you know what? Better yet, let's take a step back. I was actually introduced by like other people to Westcott in that way, because they saw how loyal I was, how passionate I was, how down to earth I was, going the extra mile for not only for the company but also for other people around. And that's what a lot of the companies look for, is how can they build a rapport. I'm like a dog. I see squirrel, my attention goes there. So squirrel. So what he's doing stuff like this in the back end right now, and he's distracting me. Stop doing that. He's testing my special smart. So
we've known each other for too long, man.
So finally, I had the honor of meeting, Brandon in person. We went out. I can never forget. It was called the Meatball Shop. It was Italian food, and he's like, listen, we're looking for really loyal people that are down to earth, that not only want to, raise the community and make it better, but also want to contribute to society in general. So, and obviously when we had that meeting and I looked at him, I'm like, I had to take a step back for a second. I'm like, that I could do.
Yeah.
And one thing led to another, and I was paying my dues, and they watched me for like a solid 3 years. Same thing for Canon USA. Same thing. They were watching me for many years, and they were like, "Hey, we want to bring you on board as one of our speakers."
Yeah.
And the thing,
so wait, okay. So going to you're not Explorer of Light yet.
No, so Canon Explorers Eye is like an ambassador program for Canon USA.
Canon.
Yeah. So
I was like, I'm vouching for my boy right here. All right. Westcott, you better get on it. I was like, so now you got somebody who we're friends with as Geekoto, whatever, but Westcott, you better get on it. Like, come on, Canon. I was like, my boy's got this beat. So
so look, can I, have I been working with Canon for a while? Yes, as a speaker and stuff like that. Yeah, I have been. But it's about timing. It's all about timing. When it's right, what they're looking for, and that's the thing. You cannot get upset. Why isn't this company not making me an ambassador? I do amazing work and I do this and that and I speak here and I do. That is great, but you know what? Maybe you're not the right fit at the very moment in time. Just like in a relationship, just like with your client, maybe it's not the right time to bring you on board. And I think this is where we are in the society in general. People don't know how to have patience. Like I'm the first person to say I don't have patience for shit. I really don't. But there's a timing when it comes to anything, and it's paying your dues. Did my mind shifted over the years and where I want to be as an educator? Absolutely. I mean, I took a big step back in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, as being an educator, because I really wanted to focus more on my businesses. I really wanted to be spend more time at home. I really wanted to grow something that I know is going to be longevity in that way. So for me, that's what's important. I know there's certain people that are, they want to be top educators, or they want to be, I don't know, they want to reach 6 figures or 7 figures, or they want to just be a homebody. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just, for me, my goals have changed dramatically. So going back to your question is, just follow through. Because one thing I see a lot is people jumping ship in our industry. I see them, they go here, they go here, they go here, they go here. Like, I've been approached by other lighting companies, modifier companies all the freaking time. And when you start going up the ladder, you get access 20.
And I'm gonna be very just to add to that really quick.
Please.
We have been our friendship has been it's long. We've been knowing each other for a long time.
We almost caught up one time. That was cute.
Yeah. But one of the things that I've known, even though we are part of Geekoto and stuff like that, is that respect goes a long way.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is something that, I highly respect, for lack of a better term. And I've always known that I respect your ambassadorship with Westcott.
Yeah.
And I would never step on those toes, because not only do I respect you as a professional when it comes to it, Geekoto respects that as a professional, but as a company, we respect other companies.
Exactly.
And those are the things. I mean, there's been times where we have been, at trade shows or whatever, and Westcott needed something and we were there to be able to help, and vice versa. There was times where we needed something and, and Westcott was there to help. And that's the way, and something that we are very, very, pushing, because we've seen that. We've seen that in other, going back to TwitchCon, we're going back to stuff that's outside of the photo industry, that we've seen, I guess the united aspect of that community, compared to what the current status of the photo community is.
Yeah, I do that with my competitors. Like we have the high end. I don't know. Everyone calls it differently. I'm a luxury photographer. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, let's cut the bullshit with that. Like, I'm a luxury. I'm a destination photographer. I mean, you've been on a trip with a camera. Like, relax. Like, or you make X amount. It's not about that. Even my competitors, even like locally, I'm good friends with my competitors.
Yeah,
they need something. If I'm not available, or if I'll go and help out.
Yeah.
my team members, if available, we got your back. And same thing, there's so many people that, again, we build such a tight circle. And if I don't get it, then the competitor gets it. Or it's like, or we recommend each other, or we're overbooked. I'm like, you know what? You should use this company. And this is what they do. So yeah, it's no different.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, going back to having a community, whether it's in the photography industry, whether it's your local. But that's like another thing. I noticed that too also, like when I travel to different cities, whether it's teaching, these photographers are charging, this bullshit money. Okay, well, why don't you try to link up and like, hey, you know what? If we're considered the top 2 or 3 studios in, let's say, I don't know, let's say Alabama. I don't know. Let's link up and let's see how we could like monopolize the circle. Let's sit down and see how maybe we could raise our pricing.
Yeah.
Let's
absolutely.
unite. Let's raise our pricing. Like, how can we offer and to see how we can monopolize that? Yeah. So,
okay.
What? Here we go. What happened? His laugh is everything right now. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good right now. Go.
So all right. So I don't know if you guys. So I'm a big fan of King of the Hill.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's King of the Hill, and there's an episode with all of the propane, dealers get together and they do exactly that. They monopolize the prices. So that was the first thing that kind of came to me. That's the first time the first thing that came to mind. All right, so we're gonna go quick. So Devin does tech. His thing is this Saturday, the fundraiser that they're doing.
Oh, nice.
It's a 1K fest. It's streaming for so basically 1,000 minutes.
1,000 minutes.
1,000 minutes. So and they're giving away about $1,000 in prizes, raising $1,000 for charity.
Sure. Devin, do me a big favor. Just find me on Will Cadena on Instagram. Just Will Cadena. Type it in WILLCADENA. Send me that link and I'll post it on my end. And guys, everyone that's watching this or you're going to watch it later on, post that as well. Look, this is the part where social media, YouTube, and this is where we could all benefit. Like,
absolutely.
So why not just do it? It's a really easy share. So just like how they have the GoFundMe pages, you know,
and especially stuff like this. I mean, this is absolutely for 100% charity. This is something that is not going for profit for anything else. So you want to make sure that we share stuff like this, and we do our best to do that. So again, follow Devin Does Tech. He's having an amazing charity event this Saturday and stuff like that. So please follow him. He's gonna post a lot of that stuff. Like I said, Devin, please send that over to Will. Obviously, we're gonna repost it. We've got stuff. We got free giveaways that we're gonna be doing through that entire thing. We're actually, nice. I think we're donating about $1,000 worth of gear for people that are there.
That's awesome.
We're gonna be going that. So Westcott, come on, dude, match that. We're getting that. Yeah, well, I'm calling you out.
Damn, man,
So again, charity. I'm getting. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys already know this guy. This guy is like guerrilla warfare, marketing, the whole 9 yards. I couldn't believe. I always had respect for this guy, but the day he took over a conference, I'm not saying exactly what conference it was, but he hijacked a conference. That was pretty awesome. But you know what? It's cool because you know what? You think outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good for you.
Yeah. So again, well, let's go back to Devin.
Devin, we're gonna talk about you.
Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah.
Again, follow Devin Does Tech. He's doing an amazing charity event this weekend, this Saturday, 1,000 minutes nonstop, and it's for a great cause. So,
nice.
So when it goes.
So what's the other question you got? You have a bunch of questions.
Yeah, man, I do. I have some questions.
I wish I would have prepared. Go.
I was like, why? I was like, that's one of the reasons you kept asking me about that. So, I'm.
I think the tequila's hitting him.
No,
right,
not yet.
Not yet.
No, we got like half a bottle. So
thank God.
So yeah, Nancy. Now we got the camera on.
Look,
you.
my arms are big in that.
Dude,
good,
you know
thanks.
what?
I think I pressed it. By the way, guys, a key trip. Like, see how small? But if you want to like make the arm bigger, you push on the bottom. See how it just became big? You're welcome. Free workshop. You go. Let's go. I gotta start holding my guns like that. There you go.
All right. So what are the things? You've been in the industry for a couple of decades.
Decades. Damn, that's aggressive. Yeah, it is a little bit.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Because
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. So obviously, I'm 47 years old, been around for a minute. You know, my kids they're beasts, man, and they were like, "Hey, Dad, you graduated in the 1900s."
Oh man, emotional damage.
Because I graduated in 1995 from high school, and and I was born in the 1900s, and I graduated high school in the 1900s. So that tells you, that.
Did you go to the bathroom and sit on the floor, fetal position, and
absolutely.
cry?
I was like, wow, that's it. But you were talking a little bit earlier about and one question that I get asked a lot, especially now because a lot of photographers are doing like hybrid shooting, film and stuff like that. I'm gonna ask you this question: do you miss shooting film?
Do I miss shooting film?
Yeah.
You know what? I was very fortunate that I started on that and I shot many assignments in film. I was very privileged because you had to know what the hell you were doing.
That's not what I asked. You're sugarcoating it. Do you miss shooting film?
Hell no.
Exactly. Okay.
I don't know. When people come up to me, I'm a film photographer. I'm like, but why? Like, why would you? Why? Like, yeah. Like, okay, it's like I'm bougie. Like, okay, good for you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you. Let me tell you one thing. Okay, there is nothing fancy about sitting around, putting your film in a canister, and doing this for 30 minutes.
I kind of miss the smell though. The smell was kind of like funky, but it smelled good.
See these things? These are chemical burns, bro.
Acid. It wasn't from you rock climbing in Thailand.
Now photographers, they use shooting film. That's awesome. But it doesn't. Now you have a lot more. It's a lot easier where you can just get your film, you put it in an envelope, you send it somewhere else, and magically you get
delicious,
beautiful images. It didn't work that way, so that's why I wanted to have someone who had shot film as well, whatever. No, I do not shoot. Do not miss shooting film.
So I had a client a couple of years ago that like, oh well, it's our engagement party, and I really want you to shoot film. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why? Like, I was like, why? No, I really want it. I want the vintage shit. I'm like, all right, fine. We freaking shot it. But luckily, I was like, I'm gonna still bring the digital cameras, and I still shot whatever. Sure enough, the client, well, is there a possible way to get those images quick, like to what you shot? And I was like, shit, this thing is gonna take like a week. Like, it's gonna take a week. And I was like, listen. And I was like, all right, there was a business opportunity. I was like, listen, if you really want it fast, I could get some images to you quick. And I ended up charging a shitload of money. Thank God for that digital camera because I made a shitload of money because of that. Do I miss shooting film? No. When I get those artists that say, oh, well, I'm a film photographer, and I see them on site, but they're still shooting with the digital camera. So why don't you just shoot the freaking film? Which one is it? But you end up using those digital images. Yeah. Look, I get it. I get the idea. It makes you feel like, oh, very authentic and chill. I mean, there's nothing, for me personally, we have the technology, why not? One thing I don't understand is you take a picture, you shoot it. If it looks like shit behind the camera, all right, then you should not bring it into post-production or AI to fix it. The image should come out amazing because back in the day, it would take 2 weeks to actually see the image. And then if you miss the shot, you're screwed. And I remember my uncle giving me a certain amount of film. Like, that's all we had. So we had to make sure we capture that. We had to know what we were doing. So what I think about that, I'm like, look, I get it. If for personal stuff or assignments, not so much. But if a client really wants it and you want to make money on it, awesome, good for you. But for me, that's kind of like best example is like, remember dial-up days for AOL? Why in the hell would you want to go back to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good example.
Yeah.
That's
I remember. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
So one of the things, when it comes with film and stuff like that, I am glad that film's still kind of around and stuff like that. That's
very
great.
Cool, yes.
But you do have to understand, that the film aspect of it, I think it's a little bit more of a sentimental value when it comes to the part of it than really kind of be able to deliver. It's not. It needs
We're
to
in the
quick
world of
turnaround.
now. People want things now. So
Yeah.
this is where we are. I mean, like I get it. Like I like again from my industry or my clientele that I can't say industry, but from my clientele, they want the stuff now. Like that's how it is. Let's put it this way. One of my other my other division, we do one of the largest bodybuilding leagues in the world. So we capture over 20 shows, and there have been so used to getting images, seeing the images within a matter of 2 to maybe 6 weeks. I know some people might be watching like, oh, that's standard. But mind you, they're on stage, they're competing, they're training for 16 weeks and plus. We found an opportunity, and this is where I like to go into business. I'm like, all right, why is it taking so long? Why can't they get it faster? When I used to shoot for the Knicks and when I used to shoot, more for the UN, they needed stuff really, really quick. And I was like, why not get it right then and there? Like, why not get it within a few hours? So now our delivery time is within a matter by the show. If the show is over by 8 o'clock, those images are ready to go by 11:30 at night. So imagine the excitement.
So like same day.
Same day. It's quick. So now the question, we shoot 15, 20 images. No, a competitor is averaging out anywhere between 80 to 120 images. We're capturing close to 15 to 30,000 images within one day. We're capturing anywhere between 80 to anywhere to 1,800 competitors within a matter either a day or within 2 or 3 days. So there's no excuse if you're photographing a portrait client is taking more than what, a few days? You're missing the boat, because think about the excitement. So you guys want to make money. If you're gonna take anything, I know I said earlier, I like to make money, and I like to, if I want to ask you, what does money mean to you?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? What does money mean to you?
Opportunity.
People
So
say opportunity, freedom.
yeah, opportunity,
Yeah.
freedom. I mean,
Travel.
it's part of it. Like again, I'm a father.
Yeah.
I can give my children opportunity. Do I want to live them wealth and stuff like that? No,
Yeah.
I want them to learn how to create and be better human beings on there. Do I want to set them up? No. And that's something that I currently do right now. When my kids are like, oh, we have the money. I'm like, no, I have money.
Exactly. You're the sugar daddy.
I was like, no. Oh, like, and at that, we don't have much money.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. Yeah.
But you want, but they need to
absolutely.
work for. They
Yeah.
need to work for what they want.
Yeah.
And like there's clientele that I have that it's either the kids are like, and I'm very blessed that I have clientele that they're very wealthy, but also their kids are very well behaved. They work hard for what they want, and there's certain people that have money that the kids are out of line or the parents are out of line, and there's certain no different from people that don't have money. It's the same idea. Is how it's raised, how you're willing to work for it. Growing up, we didn't have money in that way, so everything I do is like I want to make sure we value things, save money, and but going back to the business part of it is like weddings. Like if I went to go shoot a wedding on a Saturday, those images are ready to go by the latest Sunday morning. And I will set up a council, like a what do you call it these days? IPS or in-person sales. I mean, who made that shit up? I mean, it was been ordering sessions, period. Like, I don't know. Yeah, whoever monopolized that. But there was already meetings set up on Monday or Tuesday. So the album was already designed, the images are ready to go, and then from there we upsell them in person. And it's not even upselling; they already knew they were going to be upsold to, because before they even book, I tell them if you're not upgrading, that means we didn't do a job right. Yeah. So I guarantee you, make sure you save an extra 5 to 10K because you're going to be upgrading to that.
So this is something that you were telling your clients ahead of time.
Yeah, and I still
to budget for them.
Yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely. Because you're kind of like priming them in the beginning, like, all right, at least you know. So I think that's really important, and I think that's one thing I see it too. Some of the conferences I speak at, or business courses I speak at conferences, like, oh well, no, we want to talk about money, and I'm not a salesperson. I think, what the hell are you doing? You doing this shit for charity? Like, I want you to make money. You have to be transparent with the client, especially when they contact you first. That's when you got to start priming them from the beginning. Like, oh yes, this is where we start at. You don't want to send out the pricing right away. You want to get to know who you're dealing with. Any client that, before I even send out any kind of price sheet, I already give them like a gauge where we usually start at. But we say, hey, we usually, our clients invest anywhere between X amount all the way down to the lowest tier. Because when they see the highest tier and they're like, oh, well, that's a lot of money. But when they start seeing the lower tier, like, oh, it's not that bad. So they already know what to gauge. So you're already kind of, what's it called? You're already evaluating and who's going to be your client. And that's when we do the Zoom meetings and we get to know who they are. Once they get to know your personality and who you are or your team members, they already invested in the time. And that's when we kind of like, you good?
Yeah.
You're 100%.
I was like, what are you asking me for?
Yeah, what are you He's picking his nose. I'm like, I want to help him out on that. Like, no. But like, for me, that's always been, that's when you start knowing who your clientele really is and who you want to work with. So for me, I'm very particular who I work with. Do we get contacted all the time? Yes. Do we work with everyone? Absolutely not. If we get, let's say, 10 inquiries within 2 days, I say we might book maybe 2 out of those 10 inquiries. And that we're happy with that because we don't want to do 200, 300, 600 weddings a year. We want to do just solid, maybe 20 weddings a year max, or maybe 10 weddings a year. And because after everything's said and done, maybe 20, 30, or 40, 50K for each event. Now the questions are, well, whoever's watching this, well, in my city, I'm lucky if I can make 2K. Okay, fine. Whatever it is. Don't take the number so specifically. All right. Everyone get frustrated on the money. See how you could like bring up your average. If you're already making, let's say, I don't know, they did a study back in 2000, I think it was 19 or 18, that the average studio, the average wedding client, bride and groom, they invest in photo and video is $3,200. That's in the US. Now you're thinking about it, well, that could be a lot, depending on who's watching this, or that might be too little. There are studios in LA, there's studios in New York City. The minimum starting is $25,000. Competitor, Andy Marcus, Fred Marcus Photography, mentor. They're like the Navy SEALs for me when I was growing up. Like I had to assist them. I had to be a bag holder, and I want to learn how they worked. And they work with you name it, the top of the top. The minimum at the end of the day, starting was anywhere between 80 to 100K. Easy, just to shoot a wedding for photography. And that gave me a drive to, you know what, I can charge that. I could reach to the top. And this is when surrounding yourself with people that drive you, that pushes you to the whole different limit. So when you start hearing those numbers or you start surrounding yourself with positive people, how can you not get there? But when you surround yourself with a pool of people that are always negative and bitching and complaining about, oh, I'm not making this, and or this person is complaining about something, that's how you're gonna be in a pool with negative people. That's why I always surround myself with positive people like yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, elaborate more on that. Actually, I want to hear more from you from that.
So,
because I'm taking a break. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna really quick. Some of the comments that came on here. Obviously, hey, Devin, you're more than welcome on the stuff that is gear. We're pimping you out because you're doing something great.
Pimping you out, baby.
Absolutely. Actually, we had Kiko Jax, who just kind of so Kiko Jax, dude.
Wait, Kiko Jax?
Yeah, Kiko Jax is an awesome. He's local to here. He's a photographer. He's a videographer.
Bring your ass over here now. Let's go.
And he's a content creator, man. He's a super talented guy that we're very, very happy to know. Well, personally, he's part of it. But it's one of those things that Kiko has done some fantastic stuff. He has a great group of content creators that has done, great in that aspect. And then we have Marcos. Marcos says, I have to say that there are a few clients who are willing to invest in such risky jobs as film. Absolutely, 100%. That is something that I would definitely say. The fact that, yes, not every client will invest in doing film, but those that do or whatever, and you guys who are hybrid photographers, more power to you. That's fantastic. I'm glad because it is because of you that the film industry is still currently going. And this goes beyond just kind of photography. I mean, there are the film industry is. I mean, I think Tarantino a few years back did the Hateful Eight, shot it on film, on 78 millimeter, and they projected it on 78 millimeter, cool. Which was cool. The one thing that I didn't kind of show was the fact that Will was about to pee his pants and he had to like run out.
I washed my hands.
Run out.
I didn't wash my hands.
And I had to talk extra on camera, and now I'm not showing.
But I heard everything from the. Thank you. That's cool that you had that shared. Everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, shit. And I loved it. I'm like, shit, I forgot to wash my hands. I went back. I went.
But going on there.
Yeah.
But again, Kiko Jax, he's
cool.
it's fantastic because he's a young cat. He's somebody who is a triple threat on doing so many cool things. And if you guys are not following, please follow him. Kiko Jax. If you want to put your handles or anything like that on there, please put them on the on the comments.
Hell yeah, man.
I
gotta follow
on that. Yeah, you got some people that you gotta follow, man.
Yeah, and seriously, I would love to follow. I'm trying to be more active. I have a couple of friends that are really active on social media, and I'm being yelled at like you need to be more active and shit. So yeah, I need to be more active. So
yeah.
It's like really hot in here. What was it?
I think it's a tequila, man.
Yeah,
You're just
tequila,
not drinking
I think
it.
So,
So I even put some like
yeah,
like some
you put
steel.
I like this. I never had those.
Yeah, those are pretty great, man. Those are pretty awesome. It doesn't dilute the tequila on there, but
So tell me, what's the next question? What do you have?
On that? So again, guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, please go ahead and leave them in the comments, and we'll go from there. With everything that's kind of, we've talked about so many aspects of the industry and stuff like that. On that, one thing that I'm a nerd, man. Geekoto itself, we're a bunch of nerds. Geekoto, it's literally geek and photo. That's how how the name was kind of came about or whatever. But again, I've invited you before. I will invite you again if you're ever in the area. Please come and visit us or wanna. What is something that drives outside of photography, outside of everything we kind of talked? What is something that inspires you that has nothing to do currently with the industry?
Yeah, people actually. I do. That's one thing that inspires me. Everyone has a story. So it doesn't matter. Obviously, it doesn't matter if it's you, or, someone that I met in the Uber or a waitress or waiter. There's always a story behind everyone. And the question is, how did they get to where they are? So like the other day when you picked us up at the airport, it was, we went for lunch and, we sat down and our waiter is Rico, right?
Rico.
This guy Rico. Like, why did the name stick? He was, he was excited. He had this crazy little beard, mustache thing. I don't know what that was. I think it was a cowboy in some way. Like, I don't know. He had that little mustache. Remind me of
He's
Justin.
a mustache curl.
Yeah, remind me of Justin from Aftershoot. Yeah. So, and jeez, but he was cute. He was like happy, excited, like hey, like whatever. And then you order a drink, and it was whatever. He thought it was kind of like whatever drink it was, but he was excited and he was sharing, what he wants to do in the next few years and where he wants to go. And it's always interesting for me, like where they see themselves. Because growing up, I'm like, I saw myself in a different light, and where I'm at today, I'm very happy where I'm at. Yes, there's always going to be hiccups and detours and headaches, and that's one thing I get asked a lot. Like, Will, if you had to go back in time, what would you change? What would you change? Still to this day, at this very moment in time, nothing. Because I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I am very blessed. And don't get me wrong, there's been times I've been challenged and been, it's like, shit, am I good enough? And, have I done right by people? Have I went the extra mile? And I can honestly look in the mirror. I'm like, I have done that. So
yeah. I'm gonna get deep.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Yeah.
Was a tissue box like?
Yeah, right. As currently right now, with everything that you've done, your success, I've been beyond proud of the fact that we have an amazing friendship and relationship like that.
Very much.
What is, in your opinion, your number one failure?
Ooh, that's good. What is my number? Wow, that's never been asked. My number one failure. So good. What do you guys think in the audience? What do you guys think is my number one failure?
really don't know because I asked and I'm like, shit, you know.
Yeah,
but because there's
what are we, like Tony Robbins? Like,
yeah,
what is that?
yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm very proud of is the fact, for example, you know, I throughout my career, I've had, you know, the opportunity of getting great, you know, from awards and everything else and all that
Superstar,
stuff.
yeah.
But the one thing that I've always kept has been my rejection letters.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
That has driven me more than anything else. Anything than any award, anything that I've ever done positively. The rejection letters is what I was positive. I think, in my opinion, about me, my number one failure is always in the back of my mind thinking that I'm not good enough. For whatever it is. Always trying to strive to be better because I want to be better than what I am.
Yeah, but
it's not necessarily a failure.
it isn't.
Yeah, it's not a failure. That is whatever it is.
But that I'm sorry to interrupt, but
yeah,
I think that also makes you human, but also it keeps you genuine. It keeps you humble. Well, actually, I gotta be careful with that because not everyone is like that. But I think that's what attracted me to you in that way. I mean, guys might take it the wrong way, but so I'll cut it with him. He's cute. No, but like seriously, there's people that I really connect with, and there's people like you agree, like people you haven't seen in years. Absolutely. Like I have friends that you know, like I just hung out the other day. I had a guys' night and we hung out, and like people that like they're not blood related, but they became my family because of our relationship. I haven't seen some of these people like not people, but I haven't seen them in either weeks or months, and we connected like we just saw each other like yesterday. Yeah. So, but these are the people that always want to push each other to do better and also hold each other accountable. Yeah. And they also like, they'll call you on shit, even though you don't want to hear it. Yeah. So to what you said is, yeah, you know what? We all feel like we're not good enough and we're pushing. Yeah. I totally.
Okay. I'm going to, all right, we're going to get real.
Oh, I thought we got real already. Like, goddamn.
Yeah. So, but my answer was that. But my biggest failure is in college. I had a roommate who was like my little brother. And to this day, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He had invited me to go on a trip with him. To Ojinaga, Board Town. And I couldn't go. I had other stuff that I needed to do or whatnot. And during that trip, like I said, having the fact that I felt like he was, you know, a younger brother, and I tried to advise him as much as he had a drinking problem. During that weekend, he drank a little bit too much. He was with a couple of friends, and they had a car wreck, and he passed away. And to this day, I felt guilty because I guess I was like, maybe if I would have gone, that would have not happened. You know, and I count it as a failure on my part, which I shouldn't. Because it had nothing to do with me. But yet, it's one of those things where it's stuck in the back of my head, you know. And even right now, it was something that I felt I was hesitant to say, to, you know, because, and I think that's something that a lot of people kind of have, in the fact that there's stuff that you made a decision and you might feel guilty for doing or whatever, but you know, if something did happen, it wasn't your choice. It wasn't my choice for him to go out drinking with different people and for the outcome of what it was to happen. Yeah. You know, but yet I feel guilty for it. You know, and I think that is, in my my way that I feel as that's my biggest failure. To answer that question.
Yeah, I think the mind is a power. We obviously, like you said, you brought up mental health the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, the other day, a few hours, not even a few hours, an hour, I don't freaking know. Yeah, mental health is like the mind you cannot control. Dude, one, I'm sorry. This is actually the first time I'm hearing this. And people always, there's a reason for why things happen, and that always pisses me off when people say that. Like, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe this is bullshit. Like, and going back to that, like, was there a reason why you weren't there? Maybe, yeah. Maybe you could have been in that car. Maybe. Who knows, man? It's crazy to think about that, and I'm sorry for that. Damn, dude, I'm speechless because this is real. Like, this is a lie. Yeah, no, dude, I don't know, feeling guilty about that. There's nothing I can say to anyone, but there should be no reason why you should feel that way.
No, and I get it,
but it's in your head. But
and it is, and it's one of those things. Like we were talking earlier about like mental health and stuff like that, and it's something that has always been in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Do I understand? Do I see? Do I feel the fact that it wasn't or had nothing to do with me? Yes. Does it change anything? No.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that has always been, the fact that the guilt, for so many things and so many people, around the world, and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Just kind of going into that.
Yeah. So again, we're not comparing or anything, but it's like people that go to war. They could join the military. They fight and do all this other stuff. There's like a person that I used to know, or a friend of mine. Like he did 3 tours. I mean, like badass. He was a real special ops guy, not like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like. And he did some crazy shit, and then one day he literally got hit by a bus.
Yeah,
he got hit by a fucking bus. Sorry guys, but he got hit by, like, you got to be kidding me. So it's kind of like shit. So you just never know. Like, it's how the world works. Fortunately, I hate that. That's one thing. I've never been a religious person in any way, but I respect people's religion and what they are, and I try to educate myself as much as possible on it. But for me personally, it's like, as long as you do good, you do right by a person, you go the extra mile, and you know for a fact that you could be there for someone, and you could sleep better at night. For me, that's important. But going back to your question, my biggest failure, that's tough, man. I mean, that's that's some deep shit, like you're bringing up. But yeah, that's deep.
Yeah. Right. We'll leave it. We'll leave for part 2.
Yeah, part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Another
No worries. Yeah. No.
But no, that's definitely deep, and I appreciate that question, because it gives me a reason to think about it on my next flight out. So,
yeah.
But thank you for that. For sure.
No, absolutely. So, like I said, you and I, we've been in this for many, many years. You've shot hundreds of thousands of images or whatever. If you could pick one image to put in a museum that 100 years from now.
My grandmother. I already know what it is. My grandmother, I photographed her recently. It was such a simple shot, but there's something that... So I'm first generation American. My family's from Colombia, Medellin, and Cali, but really I'm close to my Medellin family. But one thing I'm always photographing clients. I'm always photographing their family and their headshots and whatever it is. But when was the last time we photographed our own family? When was the last time we took the time to capture people that we care about and love?
Yeah, and I'm gonna answer that because that is the one thing, and because of that question or whatever, I try to do something once a year,
which is beautiful. Your stuff is
once a year.
Yeah.
We have our Christmas card that we do every year and stuff like that. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
To going back to what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's something that I don't think people really kind of think about that as
No.
much. So let's go back to what you were saying. I apologize for that.
So we're holding each other accountable. Like everyone talks. Let's be honest. Everyone talks all this smack about how important my work is, or why you should hire us, and the quality, and also the emotional attachment. How important it is to have an album, and so on and so on. Every possible excuse out there. When was the last time you actually photographed your family? Or when was the last time you got photographed for yourself? When did you actually hire someone to photograph you? I don't give a shit about a tripod and a camera, self-timer. No. We're talking about when was the last time you created that experience for your family so you could be part of that? So I want you guys to think about that. So for me, when that clicked, when I photographed my grandmother, and obviously, my grandmother just turned recently 103 years old.
Awesome.
Oh, shit. 103 years old. What's she trying to prove? Like, seriously. But she's, it was beautiful because I took her to church, and actually I posted it on social media. This certain, obviously it's a certain thing. She doesn't remember me anymore, but she remembers me when I was younger. But one thing, I took her to church, and again, I'm not a big faith person or a church person, but the one thing that was beautiful, seeing her at church, that's something that she remember, always giving a cross. Always giving a cross. And every time when I saw her, she always gave me a cross. And before I left, she always gave me the, simple. And I just had to photograph her. And I did. It was something very simple and nothing crazy, nothing like an award-winning shot, but it was something very sentimental to not only to me, but also to my family. So I'm right now making a home for myself, and that's actually one of the things that I'm actually gonna be printing to have displayed in my home. So, going back to your colleague that does the printing and the album and stuff like that, yeah, like I think it's really important. Take something symbolic or something that is meaningful to you, whether it's a family member, whether it's whether you went out to go disconnect in life or something, even if it's just a cell phone, print it out. It's a reminder on where you are in life. It's a reminder how things are important. Because yes, the world is evil and ugly, but also the world is really beautiful. So for me personally, I always try to look for the beauty in people and also the world. So I don't know how we went to this, but there's a lot of beauty in the world, and I'm really honored.
I agree.
Yeah, so we try to look for the good, because every time when I speak to people, negative. Okay, what is one thing that's a highlight? Yes, you woke up this morning. That's a gift.
Yeah.
You get to go to bed. That's a gift. Yes, back pains. Like I'm 42 years old. I'm like, my body hurts. I'm like, God damn, it hurts. But I get to speak to amazing. Like I'm here. I'm literally in Dallas, Texas, in almost 101 degrees. It feels like 150 right now, but
it's 91.
Whatever it is, I don't care. It feels hot. But I'm spending time with you. I'm spending time with friends. I'm spending time with people that I care about. Like, it's beauty. There's beauty. There's beauty in the world. Like, why not take advantage of it? So
yeah.
Like even though I've been here for like not even a day and a half, like it's been amazing. Even though I have a lot of shit going on back at home, but it's like, it's a disconnect, but also a reminder, like, you know what? There is great in the world.
Yeah.
So that's what I look forward to.
Absolutely. Into that,
yeah.
Let's drink.
Cheers to that. Here you go. Cheers. More? Oh my God. Listen. All right. Colombian. Para arriba.
Arriba.
All right. Para abajo. El centro. Adentro.
Adentro.
So actually, guys, on your end, when was the last time you guys printed something really meaningful on your end?
Absolutely. So, guys, if you guys are currently watching this, please let us know what is something that was sentimental to you, something that you've printed, something that you have in your house that has, that has really kind of inspired you, or that you have currently in your house that is meaningful to you.
Yeah.
And
I think it's also storytelling was the reasoning behind it, and that's like I think in the last, and going back to what we spoke about before, how your mind shifted dramatically when you had kids.
Yeah.
Since I've been going through things in life in general, even my workshops has changed dramatically how I teach. everything I do is storytelling, creating emotional, evoking emotion, impactful. Everything that I do. There's not probably one person that leaves my class without crying. Do I purposely want to do that? No, but it's something that it's like, before you even pick up that tool, again, it's a tool. Doesn't matter what it is, with a cell phone, a camera, I don't care what it is. How are you going to keep that as a heirloom for someone, for yourself? So I think that's all I got for you. Drop the mic.
Awesome. No, absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah. So we do have a couple of key people that have, it says Marco List says, I have to say that there are only a few clients who are willing to invest that we're talking about film earlier. Geeko Jax actually.
Geeko! I gotta follow this guy. Yeah. Like that, yeah.
So actually, Geeko's you're gonna meet him tomorrow because he's actually gonna be a speaker over at the maternity.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, he's gonna be talking. He's gonna be talking about creating great content. He's a great content creator, man. He's a great content creator. So he's gonna be talking about content and creating better content into your.
You might have to compete with
like
my
that.
friend Esther K. Esther K.
Esther K.
When is Esther K coming on your show, by the way?
I've asked her plenty of times. She has refused.
Really?
She's
what a freaking diva.
I know, dude. She's kind of like the Mariah Carey of the thing.
Is she one of those like tells you how to bring up the boom and like set the light up in a different ways? Like,
so I think I have some pictures of him of her like cracking the whip. Of you trying to like set lights earlier tonight. I'll post those. Don't worry. We're like the TMZ. We're like, so we'll post some of those pictures, of what that was happening. Yeah.
She has the dog shockers. It's kind of like, not. We're talking smack. She's a beautiful person inside and out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hungry, driven. She's definitely inspiring. She's definitely she's like new generation. She takes advantage of AI technology. Right? So let's bring her up into the mix. So this is what about like bringing people to the mix in your circle. So one of my clients, a big time client, they recommend me a lot of work, and she wanted me to do her maternity session. And if you guys know Esther K, she's known for her maternity stuff. Phenomenal stuff, gorgeous. And I'm like, I couldn't really think of anyone that really does it well. And obviously when I met her a few years ago, I was like, so she came up. I'm like, can I do a maternity session? Yeah. I'm like, how can you not? But I was like, you know what? I know for a fact she'll create a great experience for my clients. So I contacted Esther. I'm like, hey, listen, might be a long shot. I don't know how you work. If you're interested, I'd love to book you, but it's for my clients. And she was like, how Esther is, beautiful person. She's like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, no. I'm like, I want to make sure you go with this because I need to know how much it would be, whatever, because I'm going to pay out of pocket, whatever it is. And sure enough, she was like, she was down to do it. And she came out to New York. She photographed. She created such a great experience. Not even a great experience, but it was a great experience for me because I got to see her actually shoot a real client, even though I know it was at her wheelhouse and it wasn't her in her studio. But I was like, holy shit, this girl's like the real deal. She shot, she was on point. She's not like she took like 15 shots at the same exact pose. She was like special ops. You know about that.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, special ops. That's your background.
I'm an expert.
Yeah. So, but and I was like really impressed. I'm like, wow, this girl's like a real deal. And we created a great partnership, and we're planning to work down the line together. But I was like, you know what? That's what it's about. It's like bringing the right people for the right job.
And you know what? She's actually watching.
No shit.
Yeah, she literally just texted me. Although she's not freaking messaging on the podcast itself, I'm going to show it. Look. So Esther is not going to focus because it's Sony. So Esther just literally messaged and said, I carry a Polaroid camera with me everywhere because of this. So that means she's talking about,
yes,
she doesn't use technology on her phone and stuff like that.
Yes.
I was like, you know what, Esther? You need to go onto the YouTube and you need to post it like everybody else. You're not special.
Yes. Even though she's a diva on stage.
Absolutely. And stuff like that.
Yes.
But we are, obviously we're talking smack, but Esther is a phenomenal, job. She's an amazing artist and stuff like that. And we're very, very happy to share some awesome news, coming soon. and stuff like that. I would like step off.
What's happened into that? Yes, I like to bust people's chops. Like if I like just like Amber, for example, like I busted chops. People are like, I busted chops because I really admire them. I adore them in every way. Going back to Esther, yeah, same thing. But yeah, going back to, you know what? Since one thing was beautiful about she was carrying this Fuji camera, printable thing, and I was like, holy shit! And she told me that was her thing. I was like, that was really freaking cool. Like you take a picture, it prints out like a Polaroid, and that's it. And you give it to people. And we went out one time and went to go visit her where I was traveling to, and there was people there. There was people just hanging out near the pier, and she shot a picture and she printed it out and she gave it to them. She literally gave it to them, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's a physical printed product." Seeing people light up in that way was beautiful. It wasn't like a cell phone shot, but they got to really appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that was her thing, and I find that so much appreciation for that, and that also inspired me. Like, you know what, I need to print more things out. So yeah, so Esther, can't wait to have you on this amazing show. Like, yeah, when's she gonna be on it, by the way?
I don't know. I was like, maybe she'll answer. Through,
yeah. Well, she's in town for this conference.
I know, and that is the weirdest thing that I reached out to her. And she was like, well, my people will talk to your people.
What?
And yeah, absolutely, dude. She was like, unless you have a green room and green room. Yeah. And you have to have like Saratoga water in the background, and it's got to be sparkling, which I don't know if it's Saratoga, if you do have sparkling water, please send it over our way. I would like so we can get Esther K in here. Yeah, absolutely, man. Shit. And then she had like a specific type of rose petals that she wants on stuff like that. I was like, I think it'd be easier to get like Madonna.
Maybe she's like that with you because I haven't had that.
Yeah, no, maybe it'd be easier for us to get like Madonna or Mariah Carey in here. I was like,
you're probably better off.
So, we'll see, but. No, I mean, we're completely, we're playing, obviously. I mean, we're
busting her chops. No, she's awesome. She's amazing.
Yeah, no.
Because we know she's watching.
Yeah. But no, obviously, she's going to be here very, very soon. We're going to talk to her and everything. So we're going to have
check it out. We seen her workshop. She's rocking, very inspirational. She takes advantage. She's definitely a lot of energy. Like if you're looking for like new generation educational stuff that's rocking it, she's definitely one of them. So, no, that was freaking awesome, man. Well, hopefully you get her on the show very soon.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully. At the last minute, hopefully.
Exactly, right. Again, guys, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, please, we got, the final couple of minutes. We've had the 2-hour mark.
2-hour mark?
2-hour mark, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
you got to get like a porta potty, like sitting
exactly.
Again. Here's some diapers. What's the next question you have? Like, is there another one? Or you got?
No, I've got plenty of questions.
Oh man, we only did 2 questions. Oh my God.
No, we got plenty of questions. I was like, what is the lesson that you've learned from old school? Obviously, we're old school, man. We're old school and stuff like that. That the photographers that are that I think that you personally think that are still being overlooked by photographers today.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, going back to exactly what we spoke about, like educating yourself on the industry. Like before you get into anything, you need to educate. Like let's bring up who created the zone, the zone theory. Like, oh my God, there's so many. Like who photographed Marilyn Monroe? Who's Ansel Adams? Like, who are these people? Like, who did all this? Like, take the time to do your research. I mean, especially when you like, I get it. For example, like Jerry Jonas. Yes, he's been around in a while, but some people are like, have you not heard of him? That's all right, fine. He's not known in the newer generation, which is kind of weird, but he has been right in the staple for a little bit. He's like the long-lasting,
absolutely
educational. Like I still take his workshops, and he's also, we're friends in that way, which is great. It's beautiful. I never thought I'll ever have his phone number on my phone. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It was like, oh my God, like, yeah. But still to this day, it's like, holy shit, like he's one of the people that helped shape not only my career, but also mentally and how he is. If you ever meet him, he's like, he wants to give you a hug and make you feel welcome.
Yes, he's a very welcoming person, and I would go as far to say that he's one of the individuals who kind of shaped the modern wedding photography industry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a few of them, but
Yeah.
he's definitely one of them
Yeah.
who kind of you know
these
shaped.
Greeks, these Australians, they always doing some crazy. Like
exactly.
even, you know,
Exactly,
like, even the
yeah.
Asians, like it's not being racial about it, but like my friends say, Keta Z, you know, it's freaking Johnson Wee, like
Yeah.
But like
great
these guys are like
photographers
taking it
on
to the
there.
whole different level. I mean, obviously there's been people around a lot longer, but like these are people that help shape the industry.
Yeah.
You know, I judge over the years, depending where I'm speaking at the conferences. But all these people in general help shape the industry to a certain way. And like, oh well, you know, this is so new. No, what is old is new, and what is new is old. So there's always something to learn, and I think this is where taking the time. And you asked me before, like, what inspires you and stuff like that. Like, I love watching like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s movies back in the day, like. You know, the hot lights and how they used to shoot things and how they used to kick on all this makeup, you know, to make it work because these lights were so hard. Everyone knows Marilyn Monroe. Like, let's bring into like a middle ground, like how she used to be photographed and how she used to be captured. Like, people used to say, like, if you look at her now, she's considered thick. But back in the day, oh no, I'm sorry. Let's
go back about a decade.
Yeah, let's go back a decade.
About a decade. Yeah.
She was considered what, like more, you know,
absolutely. Yeah,
so
she was on the heavier side.
On the heavier side.
On the, you know, to be politically correct, on the curvier side.
Yeah, it's like
nowadays it's like I was like, oh wow, Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah,
you know, she's absolutely. Yeah.
Just like in bodybuilding, it changed dramatically how it is these days. It's just so it's always help me out, Special Smart over here. Casino Man, that movie. What's it called? Not Elevation. Evolution. Oh my God.
Evolution.
Thank you.
Evolution.
Special. All right. So yeah, evolution. Things have changed. You know, just like in fashion, things have changed. That's one thing I love going to Europe and constantly going to museums. And that's one thing, like going to workshops. I have taken, for example, Roberto Valenzuela workshop. You know, I don't know how many times I've taken it, but there's always something. I go there and I'm fixated on learning something specifically. I'm like, great, I learned it. I get back and I'm like, all right, I want to know something else. I go back. Same thing with Jerry. Same thing, just like anything. There's always something to learn. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Perfect example, like watching a movie. You can watch that movie at least, I don't know how many times. There's always something that you pick up. Detail, like, oh my God, I never saw that before. I never saw the lighting like that. Or I never saw that little hidden story. Or, you know what, there was a mistake in that movie. And they had a Coke can in there of, you know, the new Coke can of 2024, but it was in a 1970 movie. Like, they messed up. It was left behind. But there's always something. So, you know, things change, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing. You know, going back to like Roberto Valenzuela, you know, if like he has a boutique workshop that he teaches every year and stuff like that.
Yeah, the creatives in Arizona.
Yeah,
guys
the
have to
photo
go.
conference.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I've
photo
taken
conference and stuff like that is fantastic. Great stuff to learn and stuff like that. But like let's go back into like cinema. I'm a cinephile, man. I was like, I'm a closet. One thing that I want.
Can you elaborate for the people that don't know that?
Yeah.
I'm
a cinephile.
What does that mean?
I'm a cinephile. So I like one day it's like I will direct a short film because that's what I want to do. You know. But I do. I for those that don't know, you know, back when in college, I was a film critic, and then you know, as most recent,
No, shut up, really?
Absolutely, yeah. And then we had a website, you know, filmmaniacs.com where we reviewed movies and stuff like that. Yeah. We got banned by Disney a couple of times because of the bad reviews that we did for Star Wars because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, you have Star Wars here, like, besides it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, my office is full
of
Star Wars stuff. But one of the things, you know, so film is very, very important to me. I mean, as a matter of fact, I gained a lot of inspiration from like the golden era of Mexican cinema. And something that nobody understands or nobody knows is the fact that Mexican cinema, Hollywood became what it became because of Mexicans. Mexican cinema, or the golden era of Mexican cinema, was way before Hollywood. And Hollywood became what they became because they actually hired a ton of Mexican cinematographers and lighting directors and directors and brought them onto Hollywood to create great films, you know, for what Hollywood eventually became. But it all had to do, with a lot of immigrant talent.
Got it.
And we're not going to get political, but obviously we know.
But this is how the country was built. I don't, whether it's political or not, that's how the country was built.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things. And and as of recent years, I mean, you're looking about 5 years back, 3 years in a row, where you had 3 Mexican directors that won back to back to back and stuff like that, and we claimed a lot of that stuff. But here's the thing, man. When it comes to talent, talent does not discriminate.
No,
that's one of the things that we're kind of getting back into, in the fact that it just. But you gotta want it though.
Absolutely, yeah, you gotta want it. 100%. You can't be like, oh, I'm privileged and I'm entitled to. No, you gotta want that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that you wanna follow and follow through is a big thing.
Being persistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but with that saying, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming.
What are you, crazy? Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you so much for coming. Westcott, thank you so much for, we had one of your ambassadors in here. It's been absolutely, absolutely great. You guys are more than welcome to be here at any time. We've had a great relationship and everything like that when it comes to it. Thank you guys for staying, as far as you have. If you have any questions, we got a couple of minutes before, we sign off. A question that I want to ask before we kind of log off.
Okay? Oh shit! Here we go.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
I'm gonna go back to some of the things that it came. It says Marco says, Marco says, Kiko Jax, you're such a great consecrated. Soy tu pinche fan.
Pinche fan. I like
so that's awesome. Kiko Jax.
Marcos!
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody who's kind of stayed around, thanks so much. And for those of you who will see it later on, again, keep commenting, keep looking at us, ask questions. We will do our and subscribe to our channel. We're gonna have free education throughout, everything in here. We're gonna have all of our ambassadors and other individuals who are a great part of the industry who will be giving you tips and tricks and stuff like that, to make you be better, make us be better, us as well.
Inspire you. That's the goal. It's absolutely about inspiring.
It's also been. So now, I'm gonna. It's a 2-sided question when it comes to it. All right. What is your biggest regret?
Said that before.
Yes. No. That this is a different one. What is your biggest regret as a professional? What is your biggest regret in your personal life?
All right. Biggest regret in business wise. Don't be a yes person. It's okay to say no. It's beyond if you feel like 100% that things are not going to be realistic for a client, don't be that yes person because it's a backfire dramatically. Once I started putting my foot down, saying no with the client, they started either appreciating a lot more, and then I got more of that freedom to do what we do. And there's certain clients that they kind of like no, but we're paying you. No, well, I'm being realistic. For example, they want to do a photo shoot. Let's say, I don't know. What's something a little more general? Let's make it really general. I want to do a photo shoot in LA at 1 p.m., but I want to be in New York for a sunset by 6 p.m. There's no way in hell you can make that happen because there's time zones. All right. So this is where you have to be realistic with the client. Like, no, it's not possible we're doing that. We're better off flying in the day before so we could capture that sunset in New York. So I don't know if that's a good example, but it's okay to say no. As for personal, I think just in personal as well, I think what I learned, especially in the last few months, is it's even though it might sound a little harsh, but you got to treat things a little bit like a business. It's like you got to be transparent. You got to be as front as possible Ask me the second question again, so I could like recalibrate in my mind. Go.
No, I mean, the question was,
Yeah.
what are your biggest regrets in your professional
Yeah.
life and then in your personal life?
No, I really don't have any regrets in my personal life as of right now.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
And that's a great thing.
It took me honestly, it took me maybe the last few months to really realize that.
Good.
So, which I'm very happy where I'm at.
Good.
I'm actually
That's
very
fantastic.
happy, yeah.
So, just in case you don't know, I love watches. I've always loved watches. Yes.
What was that like? Bush, someone got to watch.
So, but, what watch are you wearing?
Oh, I got this special edition, which is really, really hard to find. Like in a specific city, like right now at this time, I watch because the store is closed right now. Can't get it right now.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
someone over here likes to collect some watches.
Yes, but currently right now I'm also having my Apple Watch, and I'm very proud of it because this keeps me.
Yeah.
I can say great things about the Apple Watch, as much hate as it gets, and all digital watches or whatnot. And I do love watches and stuff like that. But
yeah,
hey,
but it was really cool because and again I just learned this like not even a few weeks ago because we hung out on a build, and I'm like, oh shit, I never knew you were into watches in that way. And again, this is what I mean. Taking the time, get off your freaking phone, take the time to get to know who you're hanging out with. So getting to know you, and also then getting to know another colleague of ours from another company. He was into watches too, and I was like, between talking to you and talking to him within a matter of a few hours.
And you can mention him.
Yeah. Oh, so we got Jay from Evoto.
Absolutely,
so, guys, you got to check out Evoto. They're rocking. They're killing it. There's a lot of great ambassadors in that company. Hopefully you might have that other ambassador very soon, Esther K, the diva. But I'm buzzing your chops. I like to buzz your chops. But like he does a lot of the stuff for Evoto, and we were talking, and then he, and I was again paying attention to what people are wearing and what they wear, how they speak, what all those little details you have to start paying more attention. Is more about psychology, and he started. And I told him, like, what are you into? Like, what do you do on your free time besides working? Because all he does is works. Because I am into watches, and we started talking about it. And he mentioned the watch, and I was like, wait, I know the name of the brand because someone on the show loves to collect that as well. And I was like, and then we all hung out that evening. Absolutely, and I was like, listen, have you guys met? I'm like, listen, meet Jay, and Jay met him, and it's funny because they were sitting across from each other. Next thing you know, it was cute. It was like two little puppies, a little bird just sliding over next to each other. Like, oh my God, you got this, you got that. You want that. I was like,
and the great thing about that is that trip when we were at Build, B&H's Build.
Yeah.
I had actually, so I'm into like, I love watches and stuff like that, but I had actually gone to Brew, which is a micro brand, and they're based out of New York, and I had gone to their store. They had a temporary store, and I had gone out there and I'd bought the watch. And Jay was actually really excited. He's like, "Oh my God, I've been checking them out or whatever."
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than to share your passion with people who are as passionate. As you are. About stuff like that, and especially micro brands, are they're struggling brands. Everybody knows Rolex, everybody knows Cartier, everybody knows all of these different brands and stuff like that. But then you have these micro brands who are just kind of stepping in and investing a ton of money. It's kind of like mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
And they go above and beyond and giving you quality products. And Brew was one of the ones that I'd bought. I bought the Retrograph, beautiful watch, under $500, which something that you can't find anymore.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I was very happy to show off the fact that I wasn't wearing a digital watch and showing off, a Retrograph. So
everyone values things differently, but taking a step back is the beautiful part about it. Yes, I'm not into watches. That's not what I value. It's beautiful that they value that. But one thing for me that was such a highlight, one of the many highlights of that trip was seeing two people connect in something that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
And I saw that from distance, and it's such a beautiful. I'm like, that for me, like if that was my last day on Earth, I know it might sound weird, that's just weird, like two guys hitting off of watches, but people connecting in their passion, what they enjoy doing. And
which is an awesome segue because Kiko just asked an awesome question.
What's the question?
And the so Kiko Jax, which by the way, that's his handle throughout all of his social media.
I like that name, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
Kiko Jax,
really
right?
cool.
Yeah,
It's badass.
exactly.
Yeah, good shit.
So his question was, what's your creative outlet outside of your work? We've just been talking about it. To me, comic books, nerdness, and watches, man. That's something that I've been very passionate about.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, for me, movies, getting to know people, going out, people watching.
Dude, you opened a Pandora's box, man. You said movies, man. I'm a cinephile.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So, your top 3 movies in 3 different genres.
Oh my God, that's hard,
Yes,
man.
no,
That's hard.
no.
I don't have. The thing is, for me, I don't have favorites. I never done. I never.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you not,
For me, like it'll be like I don't know.
do you like horror?
Nah, not so much.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like action films?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Okay. What's the first action film that comes to your mind?
Action film.
It's gonna be quick. Come on.
Fine. It's not recent, if anything. Hawkshaw. Was it Hawkshaw? Shit. Oh my God. Hold on. Hold me. I don't know the names. I'm horrible. That's my supposed to.
So
Hawkshaw.
I would like action. I would like action film.
You got it.
I was like action film. I was like John Wick.
All right, John Wick is dope.
Go.
Yeah. I don't know names, man. I'm horrible. Rickshaw. Yeah, it's the Soldier movie. Soldier. Oh my God, guys, bear with me for a second. Help me, Oprah.
Oh, help me.
Help me. Anyway, I don't know the freaking name. Long story short, the movie is like literally it's about a soldier that he didn't want to pick up a weapon. He didn't want to pick up a weapon, and anyway, he wanted to go to war.
Oh my God, Ridge
Hawk.
Rickshaw Ridge. Some to that effect.
Oh my God, he'll put it. It's
I know what it is.
That's the kind of movies I love. It's something that has a story that has impact, and it's like like the long
which was one of the films that was shot in quote unquote into like a nonstop frame.
No, that was another movie. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's 19.
Yes.
No, that was 1913.
This is the movie. Hawkshaw
Ridge.
So that movie,
There we go.
guys,
Hawkshaw Ridge.
watch that. That has a lot of impact. But the story, long story,
he refused. Yes.
Yeah,
he refused to.
He refused to pick up a weapon to shoot a gun. He wanted to be a medic. He wanted to save soldiers. But like the passion behind it, and just watch it. For me, that's the kind of movies that has impact. Like even Hachi. I'm a dog lover. That movie, I cried. Like I cried because I have a dog, a puppy. But the sentimental value behind things. That's for me. The movies. That's
cool.
what it's
awesome.
Like
yeah. All right. You say you don't like horror. Let's go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Drama, The Notebook, because you mentioned it earlier.
No, it's not the favorite. But shut up. That's something I watched recently, but it was cute. When you're watching it with special someone, it's cute.
In drama,
yeah.
So what?
Drama? I have, dude. I don't know. I like freaking, dude. I'm caught on the spot on that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll make you a list. Here you go.
The Notebook.
Yeah. No. Stop with the Notebook. That is a fact. This is on the internet. I'm never gonna live this down.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So your third favorite film, whatever genre it is. You have Hawkshaw Ridge.
Yes. There's Greyhound from Apple TV, which is great with Tom Hanks, which is really cool.
Which
cinematic. One? It's Greyhound. It's military. It's suspense. That's a great freaking movie.
Okay, yeah, that is a great
really,
movie.
really great movie.
Yeah.
Kill Bill, which is freaking awesome. Tarantino. Anything with Tarantino is freaking amazing. Tom Hanks is like Wilson. Freaking. I don't know. That's kind of movies I like. Something About Mary. Okay. Which I love. And
okay.
Funny.
Yeah,
come on, like stuff like that.
Which earlier today we were
Super
talking.
Bad.
So earlier today we were talking about kind of raunchy comedies or whatever. One of my favorites, if not my favorite,
Which one?
on,
American Pie?
on that like role models.
Oh, yes.
Role models.
Yo.
That's one of my favorite.
We can't say the lines.
films of that.
Mikey can't say
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's an absolutely fantastic
Yes.
movie when
Very.
it comes to that. Dude,
What we got?
so,
What we
yeah,
got?
so
Who's
Kiko-
your favorite movies in there?
So
Like,
literally,
everyone.
like
got?
Kiko, he's like hey, Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes.
He knew it.
Thank
he
you.
called us out on it.
Right? Tell me no.
Again,
That's
because
badass.
Kiko,
He's like,
again.
save me one. Give me one more. Give me one more. He kept us saying that line, one more. And
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
When we were saying Rackshaw, he was like, no, Hacksaw Ridge.
Thank you. Oh my god. I'm
Thank you,
horrible with
Kiko.
names,
Thank
man.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Dude, this kid is absolutely talented. And I call
gonna
him
meet
kid
tomorrow.
because I'm old, Kiko. That is the only reason why I'm saying that word. You are wise beyond your years. You are beyond talented. And I will vouch on this kid.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's a triple threat through and through. He's a great and fantastic kid, and you'll get to meet him tomorrow.
I can't
'cause
wait.
he's
Can't wait
gonna
to
be-
meet you.
Yeah, he's gonna be there tomorrow. Talking about content creating and developing better social media.
excited.
Great kid. So
I got the first round of drinks.
absolutely.
Just saying. Yeah, I'm excited.
So that's great. So in his next, he said La La Land is one of his favorite.
La La
I'm
Land?
assuming that's his favorite movie. So it's a musical. So La La Land.
Oh, okay. Nice.
La La Land. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. I'm not into musical. Honestly, if we were into musicals, I would say Newsies.
Newsies? Newsies is good.
Newsies was great, and I'm not even into musicals, but Newsies was a fantastic movie.
The other one is
came
oh
to
my
it.
god, the Greatest Showman. I never been into musicals in any way possible.
That you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Holy shit, that movie!
That was
like,
a great-
whoa, between
yeah.
the storyline, the lighting, the storytelling,
The cinematography
I'm like,
was
holy
fantastic.
shit. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that was the last. I think it's been a while since I bought like a soundtrack. I bought it on whatever, Spotify or whatever it is. And I bought the whole soundtrack because every song in there, it brought something out of me. I'm like, oh my god, I could relate to that. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Where in my life now is like when I watch certain things, I have to relate to it. That brings it out, and that's how I am with people. Like if I'm closer to, like obviously I'm here. Like yeah, there could have been like a lot of drama or something. People talking like, why are you on this podcast? It's one of the competitors. I'm like, shut the hell up. It's not about that. It's about the community, about growing together. But I have a relationship with you. I love you. I adore you and who you are and what you're doing for the community. And I wanted to be part of that. So I want to be part of things that will advance not only the community, but just humanity in general. And you have that since I met you. So yeah, that's where I'm at in life right now. It's like, what can we relate to that will help us drive our soul and make life better every way?
So going into, keeping it in the theme of film.
Film. Oh, okay.
Do you have a favorite director?
I'm horrible with names, as I told you.
No, which is fine. I mean, but
like I'm the guy at the conference. Like I will see you 10 times. I'm like, shit, I met this person 100 times.
But
I have to visually see the name in order to remember it.
But do you have a film? And let's see if we don't know it, maybe somebody who's
I like Casino, Goodfellas. I like these
So
are the movies I
Scorsese.
like. Yes. Mingas, tu de cretino. Like,
that was easy.
yeah, that was easy. I grew up in New York.
Okay.
I'm always around like Italianos, So
that's fair.
West Side
That's fair.
Story, that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, Rocky. Like I love the underdog.
Yeah,
because I always been an underdog. That was me. I was always getting picked on in school. Always picked on. That's why if you guys. I hate bullies. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care how much money you are, how much money you have. You're an asshole. You bully people, I'll cut you off, or I'll put you out there. Like, don't be a dick. I don't give. Sorry. That's why the whole like. I'm
gonna.
Yeah.
All right. We can clip that one, and we're gonna put it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Don't be a jerk. It just.
No.
We are live. It's like just all you have to do. It's not that hard to be nice. It's really easy to be a dick. Sorry for lying, but like, it's be nice, be kind. If you have nothing nice to say, all right, don't say it. Then walk away. But there's no reason to be a negative person in that way, to speak down on people just so you could get an advance. There's many people that I've known over my career, whether it's my clientele and people that have got advanced in life, that are very successful, that they didn't have to bring people down or threaten people just to get ahead. There's no reason for it. I think when people do that, I think they're just really insecure in where they are in life or how they grew up. So there's no reason for it. But yeah, man, I mean, that's where I'm at with that. Bullying, I'm not into that in any way. So,
Yeah. I mean, and that's...
In a way. Yeah. I don't, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, coming into films, one of the, you know, kind of a little quick trivia.
Ooh,
Christopher Nolan is currently filming The Odyssey.
No.
Yeah, and it doesn't release until literally 1 year from now. And they did pre-sales of that film.
Are you supposed to share this right now?
Yeah. And they all sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. 1
year before.
Wow.
And that entire
Why do you think that
film is? I'm a fan of Christopher Nolan, so I'm gonna say because he's a badass.
Pretty
and I mean, you none is no. So
he's gonna get offended.
Yeah, no, absolutely no, not at all.
Yeah,
but the fact, you know, so I mean, I mean, you're talking about, you know, the Batman series, you know, like
Dude,
Dark Knight.
like come on.
I mean, you're talking about epic films that he has filmed, and he took upon the Odyssey.
Yeah, that's like.
I mean, that is.
Yeah.
To so many where it was an unfilmable book. An unfilmable
no pressure
novel.
That's a lot. He must be at his career he's like, all right, let me just do it. Let's see where this goes.
You know?
That's like making like another Back to the Future.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Like I have my favorite directors, you know, like
who's your favorite?
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro, man.
Why is that? I wonder why that is.
No. One, because I'm a horror lover. I love horror films, and the way Guillermo del Toro romanticizes horror, it's just beautiful.
Romantic.
No, it really is a beautiful way of the
What's
way
his background?
he shows. He's Mexican.
Oh, okay.
No, but it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. But I get it. But one of the things, like when he won the Oscar for like The Shape of Water, they asked him, you know, like, oh, you know, you show, you know, like the dark side of horror and this and that, you know, of evil and all of this, you know, but yeah, you show it in a beautiful way. And his answer was like, because I'm Mexican.
Mexican. Because I can. Because I'm Mexican.
No, but the fact of him literally showing that. Yeah. No, but it goes beyond. I've followed his career from, you know, the freaking 90s. You know, I've been a big fan of his. You know, from
how old is he now?
Good Lord, he's got to be in his early 50s. Okay. You know, mid 50s. But he's just an amazing director of what it comes. And then you have like Nolan, you know, who has created amazing films. You know,
what is the top film that you feel like it made it like
me personally? For Nolan, the Dark Knight series.
Yeah,
but that's because I'm a Batman.
No,
fan.
But the Dark Knight is dope. I gotta admit,
absolutely.
Like, yeah,
I'm a Batman fanatic.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes
my
to
best friend is into like Batman Beyond. Dude, I feel like every time we travel, all we watch is Batman. That's what we do. Like, doesn't matter. We travel everywhere, but even Colombia. Like, we should be going out partying. No, this motherfucker wants to watch Batman. But no, I agree with you. Like, yeah, his movies are they're pretty dope.
No, these guys are fantastic. So you know, great things. You know, hopefully. You know, like this, I don't think he's going to disappoint with the Odyssey. Fantastic.
Well, good luck with that, because that's hard to top.
That is You know what I'm more excited about the fact that hopefully people now a year ahead of it will actually go
Take the time
to a
learn.
local library,
Yes.
or to Barnes and Noble, whatever. Get the book and read it,
Yeah.
because that's something that's been around for years, for decades, for centuries, and it's something that needs to kind of come back.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's
I never been into reading books because of my learning disability, but I was audiobooks. I was the kid with the freaking tape thing, and people made fun of it because I rode the cheese bus. But yeah, I used to always listen to audiobooks, but that was one of the ones I listened to. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. I never knew that. I learned so much from you from this podcast.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
No,
Damn.
man, that's
Badass.
so. All right, you touched into a subject right now.
Shit, here's
I know, man. I know,
guy, bro.
I know, but you've really, I think this is gonna be our longest podcast. Really, the fact that we have a quarter of a bottle left.
We should order DoorDash. I'm getting hungry. But
no, but the thing is, you brought up the fact about you like learning disability.
It's freaking awesome. It's a benefit.
No,
beyond.
Absolutely. But let's talk about a little bit about that.
Let's do it.
Just for, I'm beyond proud of my wife. My wife's a physical therapist.
Badass. Gorgeous.
She has
no disrespect, but
no,
she's gorgeous.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But what she does is she's a freaking angel.
But the fact that she has a lot of her patients who obviously have disabilities and stuff like that. But you're talking about disabilities, learning disabilities, riding a certain type of bus and stuff like that. But yet,
what kind of bus?
Well, you
cheese bus. Yeah,
you just mentioned it.
Yeah,
you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
But however,
yeah.
I mean, you've been in your career in it. You've been beyond successful, beyond that stuff. Let's talk a little bit, and what advice would you give to people who are currently in that situation, man?
Currently in the situation, I mean, what, like as a parent, like
no, just an individual.
We're in a world right now, like when I ask a person a question or anyone, oh, you know what is it? And they say, I don't know. What do you mean you don't? Okay, well, once you know what? Let me get back to you, and I'll get back to you on that. We're in the world like we easily just Google it or use ChatGPT or what's the other shark? I forgot the name of the AI. DeepSeek. Thank you. Yeah, I was close with the shark. I think it has a logo on there. But we technically almost have the answers there. Not 100%, but we have the information there. So this is why this tool is amazing, and I embrace the crap out of it. So we have all the resources, and that's going back to what we said earlier about like 3 hours ago about like don't be afraid to ask for help. That's one thing I always like. I reach out to whether it's colleagues, friends, clients. I'm like, hey, listen, I need some help. I'm at a jam. Whether it's business, whether it's like maybe I have an extra X amount of money. Where should I invest it?
Yeah.
Or what kind of gear, what kind of lighting should I get? This is the kind of work I do. Even recently, when I got involved in a different industry, what kind of equipment should I use for it? I reached out to people that like that's what they do.
Absolutely. And in full disclosure, you reached out even to us, even though being a Westcott, and this is no disrespect to the Westcott aspect of it, because I'm sure you reached out to them as well. But you have to find tools that fit where you're currently working. And if there's a company that you are working with that does not have that, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody else to find the tools that you need for your current business.
Yeah.
In that aspect, when it comes to situations like that,
I think it's really important to find out what is out there. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Let's talk about our industry in general. Yeah. The lighting systems, continuous light, flashes, camera gear, lenses. There's like I said earlier, like you're not gonna wear dress shoes to go hiking. It has to make sense because at the end of the day, yes,
it's a great analogy, man. That's I've got to admit.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
it's like it has to make sense because at the end of the day, yes, you know what? Do we represent brand companies? Yes, we do. But the question is like, I want to make sure when I hit 60. That I'm good. Like retirement and all that, I want to make sure the passive income in some way or another. I want to make sure whatever we use in technology. Like, I'm going to bring up Canon, for example. Do I need the $7,000 or $8,000 camera? No. one of my favorite cameras right now is the Canon R6 version 2. People are like, it's a $2,000 camera, $2,500, whatever it is. But you're shooting these high profile jobs. Yeah, but for what I do, it's beyond perfect. And I'm looking for something small, compact, light. I'm looking for a certain technology, and it works perfect.
Absolutely.
Even the Canon R7, which is like what, $800. I shoot jobs with that camera that it creates amazing stuff for that particular genre. So it's great. So no different from the lighting and modifiers. You have to find out what makes the most sense. So yeah, I did reach out for companies every time when I go into a certain kind of genre, I want to find out what will be the best fit. It's no different from, I don't know. It's no different from, I don't know, just like in general and like in life. I mean, how complicated do we have to make this? I mean, it's not really, it's common sense. Take a step back. Well, we can't teach common sense. Let's be honest with that. You know, just people, they're looking for the shortcut, but it's taking a moment to realize what makes sense. Like you have all this gear set up. Certain people will look at it. Let's say, what his name is Devon. How do you pronounce his name? Devon.
Yeah.
You said he has a crazy system set up. Do you need all that? And he'll probably like, no.
No, but that's,
it looks good.
No, but that's the thing about it. He doesn't. He has a very basic. He uses our lighting, but it's very basic stuff. He just knows how to use it.
So he knows how to use it.
Absolutely. That is the key thing.
Hold on, let's take a step back. He knows how to use it.
Exactly.
So when I see people like, oh, well, I use the Hasselblad or Phase. Okay, great. But your image looks like shit. Why does it look like shit?
Yeah.
Maybe that's art for you, but at the end of the day, it's not about the gear, it's the person behind it.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's going back to like also take a step back with AI. You still have to have a vision in order to teach it, to guide it. So just like anything else in life, you have to have some kind of business plan or some kind of idea where you want to start and where you want to end up to. So for me, I already know where I want to end up to, where I want to be in life.
Yeah.
So for me, that's important.
Absolutely. That's great, man. That's something that is admirable when it comes to it. Again, guys, thank you so much. By far, this has been our longest podcast that we had done.
Yeah. Hold on.
We're
almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. So we might have like 15 additional minutes, to this. So if you have any questions, if you have any questions, please go ahead and put them on there.
Yes.
But
hold on. Let's take a step back for a second. I know you're interviewing me technically, but like, what excites you in life? Like, what drives you?
Me personally?
No, the guy behind you.
The guy behind me.
Yeah. We're not in prison. We're good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
What excites me? If you had asked me this 21 years ago, I would have been like very self-centered, very kind of like, oh, I want to be known. I want to be, that time I had, played soccer, I did all this stuff. Nowadays, I just want to be remembered as a kind person.
A what?
Yeah. I just want to make my kids proud. I want them to be like, hey, you know what? My dad was okay.
That's it.
Not a great person, not a fantastic, not an amazing person. I just want them to be saying, my dad was okay. That's more than enough for me. That's, it's something that I strive for. As much as I love the world, as much as I want to share, as much as I want to be this, my life is my wife and my kids. That's because if I'm being honest, I want my children, what obviously goes beyond me, to be able to help humanity in some way. And hopefully I'm able to do that. Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. Yeah, man, like that's as a friend, like I'm proud of you and who you are. I can't imagine how proud, like, beyond your kids. Like, I already see that. It's a no brainer. And obviously, like, you're here now. You could be spending time with your friends and family, but you're here. But again, you're a beautiful person. And yeah. So, like, your kids, trust me, like, you were my dad, we'd be like, all right, badass. Obviously, we're about the same age. But no, dude, like, how you speak about them, how you speak about Nancy, and yeah, they're beyond proud of you. And they're honored to have you as a husband and as a father. And I commend you for that. And I'm honored to be your friend. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, what the hell? Why'd I be here? Like, there's no reason for it.
Of course.
I'm very selective in who I spend my time with in general, just in life. But I'm very blessed. Like, taking a step back, growing up, I'm very much of a mama's boy. Like, even recently, spending more time with mom.
Yeah.
Like, even having movie nights with her. It's her. It's just a beautiful thing. Like, how much, even over the years, even before recently, but like, I always admired her more and more. Like, how much she dedicated to our family and what she gave up and how much she give. Yes, I love her. She's a pain in the ass. I love her, but she's a pain in the freaking ass. I love her, but she's always been there. And my dad, and as I mentioned before, like, I wish he was more vocal about how proud he was, for our family and love. But his history, they didn't really allow it because how he was raised. I never understood that until years later on, until recently, maybe in the last 5 years. And it took me for me to go through that experiences to really appreciate who he is. I love him and I appreciate him. And recently we started connecting a little bit more. And I brought that up recently for Father's Day. It recently passed, and I never got him a card. It's been a long time that I got him a Father's Day card, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go get him a card. And I was talking to my friend. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just break the pattern. I'm gonna just give him something like, hey, I still appreciate you, I love you, but here it is. But he was still there for us to a certain degree, not in that emotional, back end and how he wanted to express himself. But I know he's proud. I know he loves me. I know whatever. So for you expressing that to your kids, and I know you do, because I see how you are with other people. So I commend you beyond, But if you were my daddy, I'd be very proud of you. Hey, daddy. No, seriously, man. I commend you on that. It's all up to us to take the time to really show the love. And that's, for me personally, I love to show the love to people. Because everyone deserves to have love, whether they're introverted, whether they're not, whether they have some kind of bullshit going on in their life. But I personally feel like everyone deserves to feel welcome. And for me, that's always been important, to feel welcome. Because I know exactly how it feels to be outcast.
Yeah.
But if you put yourself in a situation that you don't want to be part of it, or if you don't want to feel welcome in that way, that is your choice. And that is your personal, that is your personal. Because there's people like that. They just don't want to be. They want to complain and everything else, but they don't want to do anything.
Absolutely.
So just like in our industry, like, well, I'm not getting paid, or I'm not getting the clientele that I want, and everyone's undercutting us, and photographers, and I have cheap clients. Okay, well, let's take a step back and think about how can we bring more value. How can we get the clientele? Because everyone can play the violin, but if you're not doing anything about it, then what are you gonna do?
So with that said, this is a question that I'm not only asking you, but I'm asking the audience, whether you're watching us live, whether you see this in the future. When the lights are out, when the gear's packed, when everything's in the case, and it's just you.
Oh, okay.
When it's just you.
Usually we're on a plane, flying down.
No cameras, no clients. what does success look like to you?
Oh, that was good because I was going to ask you that same fucking question. Sorry, same question. Beep. What does success looks to me? Success for me is spending time with people that really care about you and you really care about them. People that want to take the time to see you smile, caress you, play with your hair, hold you. That want to take the time to get to know your family. That want to cook for you. Not cook for you like a slave. I'm just like, like make certain kind of meals. Like, you know what? It brings you back to your origin. That want to help you like grow and vice versa. Like for me, that is success. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, and everyone could interpret success in a different way. And that's a question I ask a lot, not only to my colleagues and friends, but also students. How does success look for you? And I always hear, oh, well, it's money. Or to be a big time speaker, or to be an ambassador, or to have a multi-million-dollar home, or this. Everyone has a success, their own interpretation. For me, I am happy to have, let's say, $5,000 in my bank account, but I could live in an island in a hut with someone I truly care about, that truly cares about me, with shitload of fur babies, puppies everywhere, hopping around in you, and for me, that is success for me. I'm more of an emotional person in that way. So, yeah, and I want to have health. I want to have my family to be healthy, my closer friends and family to be healthy. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy, it doesn't mean shit. So, because I have clientele that they're lonely, they have a lot of money. And they have clientele that, you know what? I mean, we could go on for this, but it's straightforward.
Yeah.
So it all depends what's important to you. So for me personally, that's what's important to me. So like being here, that's happiness right now. Like that is happiness. So. Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much. For you guys who are watching, who stayed almost 3 hours with us.
Is it 3 hours?
Almost 3 hours with us.
Shit. Damn, this is crazy. Do you spend that much?
No. Yeah, we have. I want to say the same thing to you guys. When everything's packed, when everything's gone, what does success mean to you? Reflect on that. Please leave it in the comments. Email us. Tell us about that. We really, truly want to hear that stuff. Again, thank you so much for staying long for this, almost 3 hours, and almost a bottle of Cascanes tequila.
You gotta show them now.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to show you.
This is just the two of us. Holy. And we have
look at that.
Lunch, dinner.
We haven't.
No, we haven't.
So, this is how much of the bottle we have drank. Real time. No,
slow motion. Look like a sloth.
Yeah, right. So thank you guys so much. Please answer these questions. Send that stuff over. This stuff that we do want to hear from you. And in the background, right over here.
Look who showed up.
We have had someone we have had deep in our pockets, but we want to really kind of say that our next ambassador that we were going to, that we're going to show to the world is Esther K. So Esther, please get to the mic. Get to the mic. Yeah, it is. No, it's not the tequila talking. So reach over Will's head. It's right over here. She's been here for a while. Esther is an amazing, talented, individual that we have absolutely, been inspired by with that. She has used our gear for quite a while.
This guy talks a lot of shit.
It is. I do.
This is him being like a marketing gorilla.
Absolutely. But,
and he's just in live for a reason.
But Esther, come say hi.
All right, so this guy's getting a little crazy. So a little bit crazy. So Esther just shut up. Not that long.
Come on.
But
Say
come
hi.
and say hi. Come and say hi for a
Come
second.
say hi.
But but is this gonna be you're crazy? You go say hi. You go.
He's gonna come say hi. If you have I put her on the spot, and she absolutely hates it. Hates it. Absolutely. But thank you so much for being here. Being, you know, being you know,
I have to say the help
being
part.
behind the scenes or whatnot, you know, and she has been keeping up with us. She's got her bottle of wine. She doesn't drink tequila, but she drinks wine.
So she was just teaching at the merge. So she showed up. So
absolutely.
Welcome. How was teaching?
Yes, she was at the maternity and newborn summit.
Which
yeah,
All right.
and she absolutely rock it. But thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
And everything. And you know, again, I put her on the spot. I put her on the spot because she showed up.
I came to support. I came to say hello.
Absolutely, she really did. She really did. But I was gonna put her on the spot because she's in the lineup anyway. So I just figured I'd pop her out now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for joining. How you feeling? How you like being put on the spot?
I love it so much. It's fantastic. I love it. I just stopped by to say hello, support the boys.
Thank you. So when are you getting on the show? Like when's your availability? Like you've been trying to, but Dada's
okay.
First
Like,
they're going to be on it.
That was a lot of like. That was a lot of talk. I'm not that much of a diva. Just maybe a little bit.
So
you were watching.
Here, yes,
I was
like,
texting
it's
you
just
guys.
it's just a little bit. She was texting, she was sending all this stuff, and like, please, stop by. She's here. Actually, we were talking earlier today about Kiko being there tomorrow. She was here today. She talked about social media. She actually did an amazing, talk about maternity. And if you have not seen her work, we'll put it in the description below. And you guys and you guys will get to see her work. Thanks so much for stopping by or whatever.
Thank you.
So now I'll put you on the spotlight.
Me.
So
It's a lot of spotlight.
So now she learned her lesson. She can't just stop by out of nowhere because
I was asked
Exactly.
to stop by first of all. Okay.
exactly.
Yes, and thanks for having me. It's been a fantastic, very long show. I've been following along. You guys are both fantastic.
I know, but you haven't drank at all. So
No. I
you just poured that now. You just
Yes, but
Yeah.
I'll cheer with you guys.
Cheers.
Yours is empty.
Cheers. Oh my God! Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what do you think about this? What do you think? You know what?
I have a podcast myself.
No, she does though. I was
I
on her
do.
podcast.
She
for like
does.
a second.
I
Yeah,
do.
no, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
gotta come to my podcast.
Absolutely.
Look at
I will.
that.
I'll be there. Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Hold on. How about you ask her a question and I'm been dying to hour and a half.
Okay.
So Will's going to go pee-pee.
Thank you.
And I'm going to ask the last question that I asked
How
to
you
Will.
now, by the way? Like,
I'm good.
You wearing diapers? Like,
I'm good. I'm 47 years old, yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna switch. Can I
So
sit on Will's chair?
absolutely, yes. So I'm going to ask you, the last question that I did, like when the lights are packed, when the gear is, it's in the case, and it's just you.
Yeah.
No cameras, no clients. What does success mean to you?
I think that I have two kids. I have two
Absolutely,
kids.
yes.
My son's 7. My daughter's gonna be 5 in just
Oh
a
my
few
God,
weeks,
I
which
know.
I'm so proud and
Yes.
excited. But I think that a success is to be a good role model for them too. I think they're the most. Is this where it needs to be?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right in
there
front.
it is.
There you go.
There it is. I think being a good role model for both my kids is extremely important to me. I'm going through a huge phase in my life where I'm changing quite a bit in my personal life. And I'm specifically making those changes because of both my kids. Yes, career is great. being successful and making lots of money is fantastic. But that's for me. And that's me being selfish. But I think being a mom and, being a dad, being
Absolutely.
a parent, I think it's extremely important. So that's probably what it is.
That's
Will's
okay.
coming
That's
back.
absolutely. Will's coming back.
Distracting me.
Absolutely.
And it's something very interesting I would like to share.
Please
I'll
do.
put this in the middle so you can hear as well. You can speak as well.
I can hear. No matter.
You're chewing. I know I'm very loud. I get shit for that all the time. But there we go. I'm not loud enough.
No, you're very loud.
Hey. It's interesting because I don't think it's just being a parent, because that's how I feel about my kids. But Will over here has a fur baby. And he feels the same exact way about his fur baby. I think it's about what you love in life, what you cherish the most in life. That makes you want to be a better person. That's okay.
Yeah.
He asked me the same question he asked you. That question is
After the gear is packed, lights are gone,
Yes.
and stuff like that.
what is
Success? I mean,
yes, what is success? And I was sharing that
Yeah.
it's
So
being a good role model for both my kids.
again, yeah.
Thank you.
So again, guys, I put it on the spot. It was something that was
That's what he does. That's what he does.
it was unexpected. It was something that she showed up. She should have known better, but
I
Now
came
she
to
knows.
support.
now she knows. But again, we highly respect her work, everything that she has done. Thank you. Thank you guys for being sticking around for this long. If you've seen this after the live broadcast, please leave your questions, leave everything on here. We would do our best to try to answer all of that stuff. We'll send this over to Will and Esther as well if you do have questions. Again, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Everything that we're doing is absolutely free of cost. We want to make sure that we share with you as much as we can. Thank you, Will, for being here. Thank you, Westcott, for letting him, share his knowledge and everything with them. So, any parting words you want to say?
This guy loves to put people on the spot for some
Absolutely.
reason. No, just like at the end of the day, it's like, make sure to never stop learning, be open-minded. Make sure, take a moment from your day to really appreciate who you are, to do right, be kind, and go the extra mile. Go the extra mile for people. Whether it's not about recognition, it's just about just doing the right thing. It's not about that's what I'm doing for, giving back. No, just do things that will make the world better. So if you talk about I'm all about the community, I'm like, okay, then prove it to yourself. It doesn't have to be acknowledged to the world. So
Yeah. Don't be all talk.
exactly.
Don't be all talk.
I love talkers. They're so I see
Yeah.
it right within 20 seconds. I'm like, oh damn,
Yeah.
such a talker.
And same question to you. Anything you want to share with the community?
I just joined. Thanks.
Absolutely.
I did.
Yeah. I'll put you on the spot.
Wait,
Actually, as a matter of fact,
is there a time and
Geeko.
date she's gonna come and speaking?
I was like, no, we'll
you
figure it out.
putting me on
We'll
the
figure
spot
that
now?
out. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Oh yeah.
Kiko actually just put her on the spot.
Hey, be nice.
Geeko, I can't wait to meet you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm
So,
gonna put you on the spot tomorrow at
anything
the maternity
you want to share?
workshop.
Anything you want to share with the community about final thoughts?
I think never stop growing. I think the day you stop growing, are you trying to take my mic? He's trying to take my mic. That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. They can hear me. I'm loud enough.
Yeah.
I think growing is important in life in general, whether you're in the industry, not in the industry, you're an artist, not an artist, just a human being. I think is that you took it away. I think that the day you stop growing, no matter how successful you are, is the day you're gonna die. So I think it's extremely important in your personal life, in your work, I don't know, whatever, in your marriage, in your parenthood, whatever is your jam. I think the day you stop growing is the day you die. So as a person, so that's my little Esther K for you right there. Never
Awesome.
stop growing.
Got the merch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will's gonna make me a shirt with LED lights from Geekoto that does that.
Again, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. By far, this has been the longest podcast we have had. Like everything else is going to be unedited. You go to a YouTube channels. Thank you guys for so much for
Oh, we
subscribing.
got it around. Who has done this?
For-
Who
yeah.
has done this? Where's
Yeah.
What camera? I see 26 cameras.
It's over
I see
there.
26
There.
cameras.
There.
Is that the camera?
There.
That is a camera.
That's
Oh,
the camera. That is. That is the camera.
Cheers to you guys. Well, you gotta,
Cheers.
You gotta do your.
Oh, damn. This is crazy. We killed the whole bottle, man.
We did, man.
Holy shoot.
Thank you
Cheers.
guys so much.
Thank
Cheers
you.
to you
Cheers.
guys. Never stop growing. Always learning. Be open-minded. And you know what? Subscribe. And also donate. We got donations. We got to send that link
Absolutely.
out.
Devin,
Yes. Devin.
we will send that over
Yes.
to you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
And again, Devin, this Saturday, Devin Does Tech. That is his handle. Go on. It's a great cause that he's using. So please sign up and donate.
Devin, kill it, man.
As
There
of
you go.
right now, I want to say thank you to all of you guys for sticking around. Leave your comments. We will try to answer everything we have. We'll put links to everything we talked about, below.
A lot of work.
And
That's a lot
thank
of
you.
links. Keep shining.
Thank you so much.
That's
Keep
what
shining.
friends are for. That's when the song comes on. Keep
That's
shining.
it. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Yo, that.